Hello everyone, and welcome to the October version of the monthly tarot scopes for all signs in this Rocktober, Halloween, All Hallows Eve, Samhain season of 2025. This is going to be a particularly eerie month ahead, with many things to discuss, including astrology and an all signs tarot reading with animal totem, holy Hamza, and lots of runes, lots of love, and lots of answers. Before we get started, I want to let you know that my name is vickieverlie and you are watching the Rock and Roll Prophetess on YouTube, so please do hit that like and subscribe button. I had the music, it was on loop, it started again. I thought it would be cool to do a little scary music for the intro. The other decks that we're going to use, we're breaking out the scary decks this month, okay? And we're going to use the Dark Mansion. We'll pull 3 cards from that for each sign. And then we'll pull 3 cards from the Deviant Moon Tarot. And then we're going to do Animal Totem and Holy Hamza. Before we get started, let's dive into some astrology. Well, first of all, I want a couple of announcements. I want to let everybody know that I am open for the 2026 year ahead tarot readings. It's tarot, astrology, animal totem. It's a personal reading just for you. It's the most popular reading of the year. You only have till the end of this year to order, so get yours if you want to get it. And everything that I have, including the decks and different things, you can find at my website, vickieverlie.com. Do not be fooled by imposters. If you enjoy this content, please do hit the like and subscribe. Another quick announcement is that my Eerie, Lake Erie book and matching cards are out. These are trading artist cards. This is all the lore and mystery surrounding Lake Erie, including the geodes, the mound builders, the aquatics, the pirates, the Niagara, the spiritualists, the Edgar Cayce with the Man of Steel, the Bigfoots, the terrestrials, the UFOs, the crop circles, and more. This is a bound book. This is not a magazine. This is a bound book. And it's printed on 60-pound paper, and it's 8 by 10. It's a high quality with a beautiful matte satin finish on the cover. Check it out if you're into all things Erie, or even if you're have connections to or are part of the Lake Erie region, whether on the Canada side or the United States side, or you just enjoy cryptids. Check it out. It's a year in my life in the making, and there's cards as well. Let's dive into some astrology. Okay, here, and by the way, happy birthday, first of all, to all our Libras and Scorpios out there. I hope you have a great year ahead. This is your solar return. This is the time to plant your seeds for the upcoming year. Here's what a little bit of the astrology breakdown for the month, the overview. On the 6th, we're going to have a full moon in Aries. 14 degrees 08 of Aries. This is when my new granddaughter is arriving into the world. So she's coming in on this full moon. It's pretty cool and intense. And then the 13th, we're going to have Pluto go direct because it has been retrograde since May. And then on the 21st, we're going to have a new moon in Libra. 28 degrees of Libra, 8:25 a.m. Eastern Time. Times will vary according to your location. On the 22nd, Neptune is going to retrograde back into Pisces. So it's been in Aries since the end of March of 25. And it's going back into Pisces. On the same day, the Sun is moving into Scorpio. So this is a pretty big day here. Okay, so yeah, we mentioned the birthdays and the Eerie Lake Erie graphic novel if you enjoy that sort of thing, and the 2026 year ahead readings. So without further ado, can you see my jack-o'-lanterns? I'm trying to get everything on screen here. Sort of. You can see they're pumpkins, but they're actually little jack-o'-lanterns all chained together. And this cool little witch shoe one of my friends gave me. Okay, so we're going to go start with the sign by sign, and we're going to start with the sign of Aries. Now, it'll be, you can scrub through, it will be time-stamped, so you can scrub through. But you can also, it will always be displayed here. And if I happen to say the wrong thing, sometimes I do, it's okay. As long as whatever is displayed here, that's the correct reading. And these will be for your sun sign, rising sign, and moon, or any placements that you have in the particular sign. This particular reading is going to be for Aries. This is the big reading of the month. I do other little mini readings throughout the month, but this is the big monthly reading that I do It's really the big one. It's the big one. Okay, this is going to be for Aries. Well, Aries, on the 6th, we're going to have your full moon. So you get typically one new moon and one full moon each year. So this is going to be your one full moon for the month, or for the year of 2025. You would have had the new moon back in the time when the sun was in Aries at your solar return. So let's cut 3 cards for the top row for our Aries friends. First card that you get is it feels like these are so thick, I'm not sure if I have only one card, but they're just very thick. 10 of Wands. Next, they're so thick. We have 10 of Pentacles, 2 10s. So this is completion. When you have 10s, these are completions, okay? And then the third card is the King of Cups. So this is a water sign person, or perhaps water sign energy. Oh, there was 2 cards there. Look, I was like, man, it's so thick. The 2 of Wands is also there. So we're going to squeeze in that third card. It was a hiding. So this is, sometimes when they're hiding, it's something that you really don't see. I'll talk about it in a minute. But this full moon on the 6th, this could be also things that are coming to culmination from back in the time, like I said, when you were first setting out your intentions around your solar return. So it could be that, but it's also a very strong time for releasing. So think of things that you're trying to release or let go of. And this could be, oh, there goes a couple, there's all 3. I've got 3 cards, so there we go, we're going to take them. Now these cards are super slippery, and it's a totally different thing. We've got the 7 of Cups, the Emperor, and the Page of Swords. Okay, and put it like this because I have to have room for some more cards over here. Well, this 2 of Wands was hiding. So I want to say 2 of Wands is a card of partnerships. And I want to say that a partnership may be hiding, for lack of a better term. What is this? This is just light shining over here. There's always a little bit of adjustment in Aries reading when I'm looking through the viewfinder. Okay, so there may be a partnership hiding, maybe even with this King of Cups, that you're not seeing. Somebody could like you. It could even be like a secret admirer. Or maybe it's the person, if you're looking for love or looking for a partner, this person could have been around the whole time, right in front of your face, my guides are saying. Right in front of your, right before your eyes. That's what they're saying. So it could have been right before your eyes this whole time and you missed it. King of Cups is a water sign energy regardless of gender, okay? And the water signs are Scorpio, Cancer, and Pisces. So it could very well be referring to something happening around this 22nd. And as I look up, we have 10, 10, and 2, which is 22, 22nd. Because on this date is when we have Neptune moving back into the water sign of Pisces, and we have the Sun moving into the water sign of Scorpio. So if there's any water sign day of October, this one, 22nd, is highly prevalent. You have the 2 10s here. Now 10s are always the completion, the ending, as is the full moon. Okay, the full moon is also the ending and completion. So something is absolutely coming to completion. You've been working really hard. You've been working really hard for a long time, and your struggles are coming to an end. There will be the payoff or the reward in the 10 of Pentacles. So for all your hard work that you've been doing, maybe for the last 2 months, but maybe even for the last 2 years. Also, I want to say that this person, this secret partnership or whatever, they've been or they're aware of your efforts. They've watched you, they've seen you. They're with this owl too, the way this owl's up in the tree, it just gives me a vibe of like, I always feel like somebody's watching me. Ooh, that's way out of key. That's an old tune from back in the day. I don't remember who did it. But it's hard to see it, but there's this little owl up there. See, it's hard to see. But there's somebody watching. You always feel like somebody's watching you. But I don't think, for most, I don't feel like it's some creepy weirdo way. You know, I'm not getting that energy. I'm getting more of the energy of... like they're watching to see what you're going to do. Like they're watching your work. They might be watching your social media. They might be watching if they're a supervisor or something, they might be watching the project. If it's somebody in the family, they could be watching that as well. And there is this payoff. There is this money. Sometimes this can be the inheritance card, so it could be an inheritance from an older relative over here, the King of Cups. But for most, it feels like because you've put in the hard work, you're going to get the reward. Now, the Seven of Cups is here. What is the Seven of Cups in the traditional tarot? I'm having a minute here of... is the 7 the one with the boat? That's the 8, is it not? What's the 7? Oh, the 7 of Cups is visualizing your dreaming and bringing it into reality. And in this case, this person is definitely immersed in some creativity stuff here, right? And cups are very much associated with creativity. So, but whatever you're creating, it doesn't have to be drawing a picture or quote unquote the arts, because we're creating all the time, right? So whatever you've been creating, here again, the Emperor is coming in. It feels like the Emperor doesn't talk to you directly at first. Again, like they're secretly watching or something. And then they send in their knave, the guys are saying. They send in their, so maybe their assistant or somebody gets a hold of you. Like they're the man. It's reminding me of, remember that movie Contact with Jodie Foster and Matthew McConaughey? So I love that movie. It was a Carl Sagan wrote it, I believe. But the whole time that guy's helping her, but he never knew, he never met him. I don't know if she ever meets him, but he was like, she's in a room and she's talking to whoever, and then it's really this other bigger guy who's sending the underling to, it reminds me of that for some reason. They're showing me that thing. So somebody who's, you know, pretty advanced and has money to back you, or has money to invest, or is looking to hire somebody, you know, has money to work with here, they've been watching you and they're looking at your work, whether it's on social media, whether it's in the context of just, you know, work that you're turning in and then like a corporate kind of a situation or whatever it might be, or even school, if you're turning in work at school or something like that. And they want to partner up with you, but for now there's some sort of weird secret. Now, you know what's with this full moon now? The full moon could actually bring it to light. The full moon in your sign, you could be aware. I mean, there's moons all over this, but that's because it's the deviant moon tarot, you know. But the full moon in your sign, that could bring it to light, where they would reveal themselves or reveal their offer if they're still not going to reveal themselves, because there's something mysterious about it. All right, let's go ahead and get our animal totem for Aries, Sun, Rising, Moon, or anybody who has Aries prominent in their chart. The deer energy. The deer is about remaining soft and gentle, and it's also about quick actions, okay? So the deer is gentle, peaceful. I need to get my stronger glasses on. I'm not wearing the right ones. I got to get the good ones, the stronger ones. I don't know if they're good or not. Gentle, peaceful, sensitive soul, loving persuasion realizes desires. Pay attention to your surroundings, ready to act in an instant. Quiet introspect reveals the answers you seek. Yes, the answers you seek. It may come out through creativity too, maybe journaling or just, you know, doodle drawing. You know, there's, what is that called? I keep wanting, not isometric, which there's a word for it where I was doing it, and you just scribble. There's even groups online and everything, and you just scribble, 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 and then you go back and you color it in, and it's like a stream of consciousness thing. It means you don't have to be an artist necessarily. It's just you're moving the paper, you're moving the pencil on the paper, you're bringing thought into physical form, and then you go back and you color. Not neurodivergent either. There is a word for it. I'm going to have to look it up. Hold on, because it's going to bother me. Because I really feel like some of you, Aries, may really want to... it could help you. I feel like that's maybe what this is for some people. Art form where you unconsciously scribble. See, it's even coming up. It's automatic drawing. Yeah, that could be what it'd be called. But scribbling through trauma. See, scribble drawing. There's a word for it. Soul scribbles. Somebody's calling it soul scribbles. Scribbling, neurographic, that's what it is. I was trying to think of, I was saying neurodivergent. It's neurographic art, that's what I've heard of. Neurographic art therapy for stress relief. Yeah, so some of you may want to try that out. I'm picking that up pretty strong. Or if you actually do regular, you know, if you do art, You know, maybe something like that. But just kind of, it doesn't have to be like, oh, look at my masterpiece. It's more of a therapy thing than it is a, look at me, I'm an artist thing, you know. Okay, let's get your Holy Hamza for Aries for the month of October. You got the star. That makes sense. You know, you're stepping out as a star. Now, if you want to pause, there are words in the background, cursive, but not font. What do they call it in fonts? They don't call it cursive. They call it script. There's like script writing in the background there. If you want to pause the tape and let something stand out to you, any of those words, you can get a message. It's saying getting noticed, and which I feel you are getting noticed. Getting noticed, a time of triumph and victory, spotlight, accolades, recognition. Your star is rising as you step onto center stage and take your bow. You have done the work. Like I said, you have done the work. That's been there. And now it is time to reap the rewards of your effort. Perfect. You are getting acknowledged for your talents and abilities. You've got the goods, and now is the time to stretch your stuff. Not limited to those in the performing arts. See, that's what I was saying. It doesn't mean that you're necessarily, quote unquote, an artist necessarily, or you would call yourself that. You are a star in your chosen field or endeavor. You may find that you got the job, passed the tests, got into the school of your choice, or graduated top of your class. Whatever the case, the spotlight is on you, and you are the star of the show. Yeah, baby. Everybody is a star. I can feel it when you shine on me. All right, Aries, let's get your lots of love, which may or may not pertain to love. I usually put them on the bottom, but I feel like I'm going to put them over here on the side because we have that blank space. Ooh, hate. Well, you know, take it as it resonates, but this hate isn't going to get you. I'm hearing it's that song, it's a thin line between love and hate. So just be wary of that. Let's not fall into those emotions. Next, let's get the... it says not now for the lots of answers. And then finally, the lots of proverb for Aries natives. Love is blind. Yeah, well, love is blind. And so that can mean a lot of things. Usually it means love is blind. You're blind to their faults. And then sometimes it can be you're looking through rose-colored glasses. But also I'm feeling like this, that this person is really into whatever you're doing here. And if you're thinking, oh, well, this isn't good to show anybody, I don't want to, you know, it's not good enough. And love is blind. They see the good in you. And this person does too. They see the good parts, and they don't have to necessarily look at the bad parts, or not looking at the bad parts at all. Okay? All right, Aries. Well, thanks for tuning in. If you want to get in on the year ahead reading, head over to my website. If you like any of the decks that I have, well, I'm not using, well, these two are my decks, but I also create decks and different things. If you like this stuff, please do hit that like and subscribe. I've been losing subscribers for years now. I'm dropping like a stone in a pond, and you know, it'd be nice if I could gain some subscribers back. If you think you are subscribed, double check, because sometimes they do these sweeps and they just think you're a bot and they dump you. So just double check if you are. If you want to be subscribed and you thought you were, just double check to make sure that you actually are. All right, next we're going to clear the energy. And we're going to do the cards for the sign of Taurus for October 2025. This is for Taurus sun sign, rising, anybody who has prominent placements in the sign of Taurus for October of 2025. Nothing's happening exactly in your sign this month, Taurus, but that doesn't mean that, you know, nothing's happening. It just means that the new and full moons, everything's kind of shifting over into your opposite sign of Scorpio. So usually a lot of times this time of year for our Taurus friends, sometimes it could be more about dealing with other people, you know, the other, more than yourself. Let's see what we get for Taurus. 3 cards from the Dark Mansion. We've got the 7 of Pentacles. These cards are very thick and kind of hard to handle. Baby, I'm sure how to handle now, mess around. 10 of Cups. Dun, 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 ba-da-bum. Ba-da-bum, ba-bum, ba-da-bum. Well, talking about other people, look at what we got here. 10 of Cups, Ace of Cups. We'll dive in more detail in a minute. I want to get the cards laid out before I what is that? It's Hard to Handle is the name of that song. Black Crowes did it, but it's a remake of an old blues tune, I think. I can't remember who the original artist is. Okay, let's see here. Three cards. If I come on like a dream, wow, 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 will you let me show you? Two of Cups. That's a wild looking Two of Cups, isn't it? And then Nine of Cups. Wow, do you have a beautiful reading here, Taurus? You've got the 9 and the 10 of Cups and the 10 of Pentacles. So just like Aries, when you have these 10s, when you have these higher numbers, well, the 9 and the 10, but the 10s in particular, this is the coming to completion. Oh gosh, this thing just came off again. And you have the ones that are coming to completion, the good ones, because there's also the 10 of Wands and the 10 of Swords, which is not so fun or so good. Well, let me just find another one, because the stone just fell off of that one. I actually probably have to bake it again with some polymer clay. This is the one I want to use. This looks very Halloween-y, doesn't it? Kind of. But look, you've got the most money, the most love and happiness, and the wish card. You can't get better than this. Now, maybe I influenced the reading a little bit by talking about, you know, this is the time of the others, but Ace of Cups, Two of Cups, 10 of Cups, very much having to do with love, relationship, marriage, family too. What catches my eye is they're both, and these are two different decks. We've got the checkerboard. I think they must be playing checkers on this one, and they're playing chess on this one. So there must be maybe something about a family game night, or maybe if you were looking to meet somebody, maybe if you're invited to some kind of a game night, you should definitely go. Also, they have them at clubs and stuff. There's some clubs, little bars and stuff where I live. Well, it's just all they have. They have board games, and it's just like that's the whole theme of the bar. You know, they could, like, instead of trivia, it's board games, you know. But it could be a lot of different things, or any kind of game that you're invited to participate in or join or play. You know, I would definitely join in and play because you could really meet somebody, a love interest, or maybe just a good friendship, because these are friends, and this is a family. This is love, but this is also just Ace of Cups. You know, also you're with your wish card pointing right up at the Ace of Cups here. You know, you've got make your wish. You've got the genie grant you your 3 wishes. But with the Ace of Cups, yeah, it could be a new beginning in love. That's the most common, you know, energy surrounding Ace of Cups. But it's also some kind of new creative project, something that's really fun that you can look forward to. Maybe you're gonna, you know, get in with a group or even join a dart league or something like that, where you go every week and you hang out with, you meet new friends and you get to meet new people and have fun. And connect with soulmates on whatever level. It could be romantic for sure, but it also could just be making some good friends, somebody to you know, play chess with or hang out with. The 7 of Pentacles is here. Now, I always like to look at the face on the 7 of Pentacles of the character here. And he sure looks happy, doesn't he? He doesn't look like he's hurting at all. He's like, woo, look at this. Look what I did. Look what I grew. So something that you began, maybe even began Ace of Cups back in your solar return time back in May. It's starting to, you know, this in the Northern Hemisphere, this is this harvest season anyway. You know, I've been harvesting what little plants I have. I don't have the big garden like I used to have all the time. My yard's a complete mess anyway, actually. But yeah, so next year I'll get it back together. It's a whole thing. I don't even want to spew it out and ruin your reading, telling you all the issues I have in this neighborhood here. But anyways, so Ace of Cups, the seeds that you planted, and now it's coming to fruition. So it could be like we're talking in, you know, the actually Northern Hemisphere, it's harvest time, all this good stuff. But it also could be more of symbolic. That whatever you're harvesting with the 10 of Pentacles, some kind of creative thing that you put out into the universe, some kind of thing that you said, I want to set out, I want to make more friends this year, or something that you said around your solar return, or I want to be more sociable and get involved, or I want to meet somebody. Whatever this Ace of Cups was for you, back maybe in the spring or near your birthday time, Now it's coming to fruition, maybe 7 months later, or within the 7 month later time frame. So the 7th month later time frame would actually be for you, maybe more even towards the end of the year, but it feels like it's coming in really strong and present right now. But socializing, meeting people, and that's, you know, that's not surprising or unusual. It's not unusual to be loved by anyone. I like the up kind of upbeat, the rhythm on that. You know, it's kind of ba 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 ba. With the beats down here. Ba 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 ba. You know, it's kind of on that weird upbeat thing happening. Wada wada wada. Anyways, I know you guys aren't here to get a music lesson about counting out drum beats. So let's get to the animal totem for our Taurus friends. But that's stuck in my head. Da 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 da. Wada wada wada. Okay, grasshopper. All right, grasshopper. Well, when I say that, it's a take on the old kung fu, and grasshopper was the apprentice and everything. But grasshopper is really about leaping from one thing to another. So these could be big leaps that are happening at this time. Health, blessing, fertility, the gift of song. Maybe you're going to join a band. Tauruses are very musical. Maybe you're going to start going to karaoke or something too. Or there's some kind of singing music trivia night or something. Inspired creation reveals your true spirit. Reincarnation, discovering your soul path. Advancements by leaps and bounds. Yeah, that's the biggest thing of the grasshopper. And the reason that the grasshopper is always leaping from leaf to leaf, or what he does, is because he wants to be in the sun. So take a leap, try something new. He leaps to be so he can be in the sunshine. So when the sun moves away, he leaps to another leaf so he can shine like the sun. Shine like the sun, shine on you crazy diamond. Alright, not animal totem, but the Holy Hamsa card for our Taurus sun, rising, and moon. Journey. I heard a journey of 1,000 steps, or 1,000 miles begins with the first step. And that is true. Take a look at the text in the background. It's kind of light, but you can pause the video and zoom in if you want some of the stuff in the background. And if any of those words grab your attention, that's how you know that that's a message that your spirit guides are wanting you to see. That's a message just for you. Okay, travel, navigate, movement, setting out on a journey, exploring new territory. You are being called to set out over new horizon when the journey card appears. The journey may be of a physical nature or perhaps a journey of your soul. It is time to move forward with your life, knowing that you are being guided on this pilgrimage and you are never alone. Set your course to your true north. Do your best not to lose faith or be deterred. Allow the winds of change to fill your sails. Be the navigator of your life. Yeah, be the navigator of your life. Put yourself out there this month, Taurus. It feels like you could really have a lot of fun and meet some cool people, like-minded, you know, that you have common interests. Okay, let's get our lots of love, which may or may not pertain to love. It says release. Okay, release what no longer serves you. And then next we're going to get our lots of answers. It says iffy, iffy, jiffy. Reminds me of Jiffy peanut butter, or Jif peanut butter, really, right? Is that how it goes? Isn't that one of those Mandela effect things? It was supposed to be Jiffy peanut butter, and it was really Jif peanut butter or something, but I don't know. Let's get the third one, which is the lots of proverb for Taurus energy. The bigger they are, the harder they fall. Well, you know, that doesn't really feel like, you know, release. Maybe that's what this is. You know, maybe that's what you have to release. If you're hanging on to some thing from the past that's impeding your going forward and doing what you want to do. And these checkerboard things are just really, maybe you're going to enter a chess tournament or something, somebody out there. But those checkerboards are really standing out to me too. But maybe that's even like a decoration motif. Maybe the tablecloths in the place or wherever you're going has the checkerboard, or maybe it's even racing, like a checkered flag, you know, for some people. But that's really grabbing my attention, and that's not a common thing in the tarot, and then you see it twice on two different cards there. Kind of, it's not unusual. Here we go again. Oh no. They're starting on that one. Dum, da, dum, da, dum. Okay, let's get out of here before we have to finish up the Tom Jones song here. Hey Tauruses, if you want to get into your ahead reading, it's available. And I have other readings and different things available too. But right now the year ahead is kind of the thing. It looks at all 4 quarters of the year. It looks at astrology. It looks at tarot. It looks at an animal totem. And it's a psychic personal reading, so it's not for all Tauruses. If you order, it's for you only, and it'll apply to your specific astrology transits and those types of things. Okay, let's clear the energy. Because next we're going to move on to the sign of Gemini. Well, hello Gemini. This is going to be your October reading for Gemini Sun, Rising, Moon. Anybody who has prominent Gemini in their chart. This is the big reading of the month where I pull quite a few cards and it's longer than the rest. I've been throwing in some mini readings every week, but this is like the main thing. So this is the one that you may even want to come back to later and watch again as the month progresses. I know there's so many readings out there anymore, but you know, if it resonates, come back to it. All right, let's see here. I'm going to shuffle. We're using the not Hanson Roberts, Dark Mansion, not Hanson, and the Deviant Moon. So first let's cut our 3 piles for the Dark Mansion for Gemini. This is for Gemini Sun, Rising, Moon. Anybody who has prominent placements. We've got the King of Cups, followed by, we have one here, the 7 of Swords. And then finally, for Gemini, we have 8 of Cups. We got a 7 and an 8. So things are moving in the direction that they're meant to. Now, this isn't the deviant. This moon energy is grabbing my attention. Now, this deviant moon, where I'm about to pull 3 cards from. Now, it has moons just about on every card, but that's not necessarily the case for this card, this deck. And those moons are really grabbing my attention. We'll talk about it in a second. Let's get your next 3 cards for this row, and we'll go from there. Queen of Cups, King of Cups, and Queen of Cups. 10 of Pentacles, that's been out. That's been out quite a bit today. And finally, the 4 of Swords. Okay. Give me just a little more time. Our love will surely grow. Oh, baby. That's the song that's just coming through for you guys. So give you just a little bit more time. I heard that when I saw this 4 of Swords, which can be a card of pausing, waiting, seeing what's up here. It's like there's 2 ships that pass in the night. The King of Cups is going this way, the Queen of Cups is going that way. The King of Cups is looking that way, the Queen of Cups is looking that way, as if they missed each other. You know, that they just, like the timing wasn't right. So it's almost like stop looking and just wait. There's been maybe some upheaval for many Geminis. 7 of Swords is something you feel like something's been taken away from you. And then the 8 of Cups is like, well, screw this, I'm moving on, I'm leaving. You're leaving behind something that you've built and you're looking for other things. And there will be the fulfillment. Look at the 10 of Pentacles. That's money. I mean, so it could be nice money. But they're together. Like, they're having fun together. They're hanging out. They're partners. They're together. So you will find this partnership. Could be financial, because 10 of Pentacles is a financial card. Maybe you were in a business partnership and you're fed up with them, or you're fed up with your job. This feels like you're really fed up and you're tired of being taken advantage of in some situation, or overlooked, or discounted. And you're just like, well, you know, and sometimes with the 8 of Cups, it can really be painful. Now, I said earlier, of course, these all have moons on them. But these 2, so the full moon in Aries on the 6th, that could be a key date when my granddaughter, it's funny I said my grandmother. Ooh, maybe it is. My granddaughter's arriving. My newest grandchild will be arriving on the 6th. And then on the 21st, there's the Libra new moon. Now, both are harmonious with your Gemini energy, by the way. The full moon in Aries, that's fire, that's a sextile. And then the Libra is a trine. So those are both very harmonious for you, but those could be big turning points for you. Or that could be the big turning point. The full moon could be like where you're aware of, you know what, I am not putting up with this anymore. And then this is very likely that new moon, when the sun enters the water sign of Scorpio, because you do have this water sign energy showing up here in two different ways, you know, then you're ready to go on to the next thing. And it is a new moon, so that is a good time to go on to the next thing. The other thing about the Cups energy, besides representing perhaps water sign people, Scorpio, Cancer, Pisces, or in the time frame of water, like we said, when the sun moves into Scorpio after the 22nd, the other thing is that it often has to do with emotions. You know, the Cups are it's the hearts, and when you do it in the regular playing cards, it translates to the suit of hearts, which is your heart, your emotions, love, these types of things. So let's go and see what the animal totem has to say here. Yeah, but you're going to be coming together with somebody, and it's going to be a wonderful collaboration, a wonderful partnership. But it may be even that you need a little bit more time to recover. I keep hearing that. Give me just a little more time, and our love will surely grow. Oh, baby. Oh, I got two. You got two good ones. The hummingbird and, not the hummingbird, the ladybug and the bee. These are both very beneficial to the garden. They're both good luck. Lucky lady, ladybug, and then the bee is abundance, but it's also, you know, she's pollinating that flower, you know. So if you haven't, if you're gonna get your flower pollinated again, Gemini, just hang in there. I'll read them both quickly and then we'll move on to the next cards. Lucky lady of the garden, harbinger of happiness and joy. Rid my life of obstacles. Rid my life of obstacles that are destructive to my divine right to flourish. That's what's happening up here. Fertility, bee. Fertility, abundance, creativity, propagation. Strong connection to home and family. Ten of Pentacles is a home and family card. It's not necessarily depicted on that way in this deck, but it is. It's very strongly attached to home and family. Accomplishing tasks in a timely manner. Taking or tasting the sweet nectar of life. Yeah, there's going to be more nectar to be had. It feels like you may be moving through a transitionary period. You know, also, Gemini, we do have Uranus in your sign. I mean, it's been in there for a minute. And it's actually about to, when did it go in? When did Uranus, well, here's what we have. It's gone, it went in back in July. It went in back in water sign time. But it's going to be moving back out again soon. It's actually going to move out in November, next month. It'll move out of your sign. But while Uranus is in there, that is the energy of letting stuff go. This isn't working for me anymore. I want to get out of it. It's not necessarily about having a plan for your next step, but just having the realization that I don't want to do this anymore. I want to be free from this. I don't like it. I want to move on to the next thing. Oh, Holy Hamsa. I almost forgot about the Holy Hamsa. Okay, Holy Hamsa for Gemini, Sun, Rising, Moon. This is one of my decks. Both the Animal Totem and the Holy Hamsa are decks that I've created. I am a reader. I forgot to say all the stuff that I've been reading for almost 40 years. I can't believe it, professionally. And, you know, I've been at this a long time. But let's do your card for Holy Hamsa for Gemini. Message. This is Mercury. This is very much your energy. If you want to, pause the video and take a look at some of those background words. There are background words. Zoom in if anything catches your eye, because that could be a strong message for you. Okay, so that is card 41. I'm reading from a booklet, but it's the booklet that I wrote for this book, okay, for these cards. Text, Mercury, communication. That's all right, Gemini. That's all your wheelhouse. News is coming quickly. Auspicious plans unfolding. The message card encompasses all modes of communication, both past, present, and future. Texting, direct messaging, FaceTime, Zoom, phone calls, and the like. We live in such a fast-paced world with no signs of slowing down. This card may indicate the time is right to reach out to the important contact to get the favorable response you are hoping for. Keep a watchful eye on your inbox for an important message that may be coming your way. Communication of all kinds is favored when this card makes an appearance. I thought maybe Mercury was going retrograde. Did I forget to mention that? Or is that... I just want to double check. I'm a third of a way through the reading. It's like, wait a minute, is Mercury going retrograde this one? I don't know why I had that in my mind. But I'm just going to do a quick double check and check the astrology calendar on the back of this real quick. Hang with me, Gemini, for a second, and then we're going to move over and do your lots. So we are in November. No, we aren't. We're in October. That's why. Yeah, it's November. I'm jumping ahead to November for some reason. This whole time I've been wanting to jump ahead to November. Yeah, so it's not. Mercury will go retrograde next month in November. That's what I thought. Okay. Let's move on to your lots. Because you feel that Mercury retrograde really strongly because of your association with Mercury. That's your ruling planet. You know, that's you all day. All right, let's get our lots of love, which may or may not pertain to love for Gemini. It says separate. Yeah, you're ready to separate from something. But again, with Uranus in your sign, not surprising. And then next we'll have our lots of answers. It says possibly, si possible. And lastly, the lots of proverbs. It says love is the answer. Yeah, love is the answer. Well, love is the answer for a lot of things. Love is the answer. Light of the world, shine on me. Love is the answer. Yeah, love is the answer. That's true no matter what. But it's not necessarily love, romantic love. It could be, you know, but if you're not loving what you're doing and you're starting to realize, like, this is just dragging on my energy and draining the F out of me, then it's time for me to move on and find what... She's seeking what she really loves. She knows this ain't it, but she's going towards it. In this case, she's going towards these bugs and stuff. So be aware of those insects and stuff. You can get those messages from the insects, too. And I get messages from the insects all the time. I really like watching my bugs. I don't like it when they're crawling on me unexpectedly. But I try not to ever kill any of them. I try to let them go or get them out of, scoop them up and let them go. But anyways, hey Geminis, if you want to get in on the 2026 year head reading, please head over to my website. And if you like this content, please check the like and subscribe. Costs nothing. And if you thought you were subscribed, just double check, because apparently YouTube goes through and scrubs all these subscriptions. I've been losing subscribers for several years now. And I don't know if it's shadow banning or whatever. People are saying all kinds of crazy stuff. But, it helps get the news out about my channel and my readings. And also, people are saying that YouTube is just randomly cutting people because they think you're a bot or something. So if you have a second, check that subscribe. It costs nothing, and it's highly appreciated. All right, next we're going to look at the sign of Cancer. This is for Cancer, Sun, Rising, Moon, or anybody who has prominent Cancer placements in their chart. Cross watchers. If you resonate in any way, basically, with the Cancer energy, then this reading is for you. I wanted to get my little pumpkins on there. They keep kind of rolling back. Rolling, rolling, rolling. Keep those doggies rolling right. I want to see the jack-o'-lantern face. These have these little jack-o'-lantern faces on them. They're hard to see, though. Okay. This is for Cancer, Sun, Rising, Moon, for October of 2026. Let's get a look-see and get 3 cards for our Cancer peeps. 1, 2, and 3. Oops. First card is the Hierophant. It's hard to grab just one, and they're very thick too. Second card is the High Priestess. Look, they have the same hat on, don't they? Or they look so similar. They both got the weird hat on their head. And then the final card for Cancer is Justice. You've got Major Arcana right across the board there. So always when you have Major Arcana, it means that higher forces are at work. So something's happening. There's something happening here. What it is ain't exactly clear. You gotta stop. Hey, what's that sound? Everybody look what's going round. Page of Cups. Ace of Pentacles, and Five of Cups. This is that one where that lady is just bitching in his face, isn't it? Reminds me of my noisy neighbors. Because that'd be me. Like, shut the F up already, Jesus. But anyways, I should shut up right now because it's actually quiet. I don't want to summon that energy. It's actually been quiet more than it's not lately, miraculously. But here we go. First top row, they all are the Major Arcana, and they're all wearing these, well, he's wearing a funky wig, but these two, look at these funky hats. What in the what? What in the world are they wearing on their head? So yeah, there's something about this headgear, this funky, even these guys, he's got a fish on his head, they all got these weird hats and stuff. So for some of you, maybe there's going to be something about somebody wearing some kind of a weird hat. Or maybe if you're looking, you're going to be doing a Halloween costume, maybe you're going to be doing some kind of headpiece or that goes with your costume or something like that, or I don't know. But that's really, it looks like ashtrays, really. That's the first thing that comes to mind for me. You got an ashtray, at least you have a lampshade on your head. Instead of a lampshade, you have an ashtray on your head. But let's read the cards like they're meant to be read. The Hierophant with the Justice is probably the government, some kind of legal thing, legal system, bigger corporation, you know, where there's documents and legal things that have to be signed. The High Priestess is, usually it's about your intuition, which it's not your card, but I could see it representing you totally, Cancer. Having that, you know, being that High Priestess, being that intuitive person, connecting with your higher consciousness. This could also be, though, I feel like for some, a feminine energy that presides over this situation. It could be a lot of things for a lot of people. For some, if this is some sort of a women's rights or feminist thing, you may be able to get some feminist people behind you. If you feel like you were sexually harassed, let's say, at work or something like that, or you were, you know, equal pay for equal job, or, you know, it was one of those kind of things. This feels like this could be something like that, you know, some kind of place that sticks up for women. It could also be, there's things that give women grants, women get all these different things, you know, so it may be, if you're a woman, it may be something that is women's rights issues, or people, an organization that give women a leg up. Somebody out there, some of you could benefit for that. So look into it, because maybe there's grants or different things, or there's scholarships, or, you know, who knows. Maybe sometimes they even have things to help you pay your bills if you're a single parent, like with the winter coming, if you can't pay your gas bill, there's different programs and stuff. It has that vibe or that feel, like being awarded some money because, you know, you're in a lesser position to help you be more on equal ground, you know. But it could be a lot of different things for different people. You may be dealing with a feminine energy, who's the head of the corporation, who's going to be signing your paychecks, or something having to do with that. Page of Cups is water energy. So we have this big transit here on the 22nd, where we have Neptune going into the water sign of Pisces, and then the Sun moving into the water sign of Scorpio. So this could very well be something from the 22nd or a little bit after. Sometimes, well, the Page of Cups is very often your intuition, you know. Again, you got High Priestess intuition, you've got Page of Cups intuition. This could also be the soul of a child who's ready to incarnate, but is not there yet. So wanting to incarnate. The Ace of Pentacles is a new beginning in money. You know, so some kind of new beginning in money. That's why I was tying that into maybe getting some money awarded to you somehow through some, you know, giving out grants or different things like that, or scholarships or things like that. But maybe it's you got the job. Maybe it's not like a charitable thing necessarily. Maybe it's just like, hey, we think you're great, we want to hire you, so come in and sign the papers. Or if you're trying to buy a house or something like that, come in and sign the papers. Some of you are this is so, normally this is about being sad about something from the past, but this so reminds me of the environment that I've been living in for a while now, where I just can't even hear myself think because of, you know, somebody is just always in your space, and always, you know, you have to hold your ears just to shut them out, you know, and it may be culminating around this full moon in Aries, which is on the 6th here. But it could be just like you're so tired of your boss bitching at you, you know? And you're just like, or maybe you're going to file this could be like that. You could be filing a suit with, you know, like this guy is way out of line, or this woman even, you know, she's way out of line. I shouldn't have to put up with this in the workplace. Or maybe you're just tired of it altogether and you're just like, I'm going to go look for Ace of Pentacles. I'm going to go look for some other job. Maybe for some of you, you could have a case. Maybe it's some kind of thing where this person has just been harassing you, and you just decide, hey, I'm just going to take it. I'm going to call, get the government involved and make them stop. I can't take it anymore. You know, it could be like that. Whatever the case, you've got a new beginning on the horizon for sure. I have a major deja vu about this reading. I don't know if I dreamt it or if it's just similar to some reading that I did before, but it would have been last year with this card. I think I must have dreamt it. That's what I'm thinking. Wow, I just had a major deja vu. But a new beginning in money is springing forth from it. And whatever this is, you don't have to put up with it. You know, you just don't. Okay, let's go ahead and get a... Oh, the feather on here is really standing out to me. It's actually a quill. Like a writing implement. But maybe you might be gifted with a feather. If you were gifted with the feather, make sure that you take a look and read the... find out what kind of feather it is, and then read the meaning of the bird in which it came from, because you could be getting a lot of information that way. Okay. Fox. Yeah, something sneaky's going on, perhaps. Something that's not on the up and up. And you may have to... You're going to have to make a move one way or the other. You're going to have to turn somebody in, maybe, or you're going to have to say, I'm looking out. I'm going to find another job. I don't have to put up with this crap. Let's see, the fox. Sly, sexy, charming, shapeshifter. Elevated sense of smell, acute hearing, mediumship. Camouflage, retreat, insulate, survive. Keep to yourself until you know who to trust. Yeah, if you are going to be looking for another job, or if you are going to be trying to pull a case against somebody, keep a lid on it, my guides are saying. Keep it under your hat, that's what they're saying. Don't go blabbing to everybody else. You know, just talk to whoever you need to talk to. The person in charge up here, the high priestess, okay? All right, let me get the shuffle going here. And get your cards, your Holy Hamza, which is my creation, my deck. Harvest. Well, we are in the harvest season, so that totally makes sense. In the Northern Hemisphere, at least. Yield, reward, fruition. Let us feast and celebrate in our bountifulness. The season of autumn brings about the harvest, when we reap the rewards of all our hard work. That which we have tended to and nurtured has ripened and is ready to be enjoyed. A time to gather up our yield and make ready for the upcoming long rest of the winter. The harvest card may refer to a time of reaping rewards for your effort, or perhaps a time of life when you can slow down and take stock of how far you've come on this journey thus far. There is a beauty in every season on earth and every season of life. This may be a time of culmination, of reaching mastery, of burning your most brightly with the glorious colors of the autumn foliage. Yeah, even this fox has that autumn foliage, and even these are kind of like autumn colors, and even the dragon's wing, and even these. This whole thing, well, it's the cards, the decks, I guess, they're kind of on the spooky side. But it does have very much, to me, an autumn feel, you know. Okay, let me go ahead and pull lots of love, which may or may not pertain to love, for our Cancer natives. This is troubled. Yeah, there's something troubling here. Well, that's certainly troubling, you know. All right, let's see here. Next, I'm hearing bridge over troubled water, promising. Like a bridge over troubled water, I will lay me down. All right, last one, lots of proverb. Still waters run deep. It's so interesting because that was reminding me of bridge over troubled waters, and then still waters run deep. Yeah, I mean, I know it's hard sometimes, especially when somebody's constantly in your space and making noise, and you know, there's that constant nastiness energy around you. and you can't find your own solace and your own peace. You can't get into your high priestess zone because of this crap. But that still waters run deep. You got to find a way to, Page of Cups, maybe get by the water. Cancer, that's your element. You know, you're very water oriented. So get by the water, find that place of peace. But you may have to take action, either by looking for a new job, or even if this is like I had the situation with the neighbor, it might be just like looking for a new place to live. I wish I could move. I've been wanting to move for several years. Looking for a new place to live, you know, something like that. But changes are afoot. The other thing is, Cancer, till we get to your birthday season of the upcoming year of 26, you do have Jupiter in your sign. And Jupiter's going to be hitting probably not only your sun sign, we could look at that if you ordered a year ahead. We'll look at specifically. But it's going to be ticking off your personal planets. And Jupiter is the planet of good luck and good fortune. So if you're ever wanting to do some kind of big move, the year, it's only once every 12 years. And the year that you have when Jupiter's in your sign, that's the time to do it. You're going to come up with the best options when Jupiter's in your sign. All right, let me clear the energy. Hey, if you want to get your 2026 year ahead reading, head over to my website. Please do hit the like and subscribe. Check if you're still subscribed. I guess they're dropping people. I appreciate it. Thanks for watching. Next, we're going to do Leo. All right, Leo, this is going to be your October of 2025 Psychic Tarot reading for Leo Sun sign, rising moon. Anybody who has prominent Leo in their chart. We're going to pull 3 cards from the Dark Mansion. I want to do a little bit more shuffle on this. That full moon and Aries, both the full moon and new moon are very nicely aspected to you. They're sextiling and trining. So you could really work with that energy. The full moon on the 6th in Aries, and then the 21st new moon in Libra. That's really harmonious energy that you can really work with to do your manifestation or whatever you're trying to do. First card out is we have 9 of Swords, worry, stressing. King of Cups, he's been out quite a bit, this King of Cups. And the High Priestess, she was just in the last reading. Okay, now we're going to do 3 cards from the Deviant Moon for Leo Sun sign, rising moon. Anybody who has Leo, prominent Leo in their chart. We got 1, 2, 3 cards. We've got the Page of Cups. He was in that same position, I think, and it came on the cut too. 2 of Wands and 7 of Cups. Okay. Well, I like this 9. I mean, I don't... Oh, no, all the cards are dropping out. Hold on. I have to grab them. Can I get them all? They're all dropping out and falling into that thing over there. Let's put these over here. I mean, I don't... The 9 of Swords isn't a great card, but I like the way it's depicted here. Because these are these imaginary monsters that aren't real. This is your own imagination running amok, my guides are saying. So don't let your dark thoughts run amok here, because there's lots of positive energy. The 7 of Cups is here, and that's all. These are both cards of visualizing, okay? The 9 of Swords is visualizing the worst possible scenario, and then the 7 of Cups is visualizing the exact what you want to create and the best things that could come out of it. The living in life are free, but you can tell them to the birds and bees, I want money. That's what I want. Well, I don't know if you want money. There's not a lot of pentacles in this card. This is about you kind of getting a hold of your psyche. That's the biggest thing. I think there's going to be opportunities to do that. I think that you could maybe have some big realizations, because the Page of Cups is also a very psychic and intuitive card. So is the High Priestess. So is the King of Cups. So this is really paying attention to where your mind is going, what you're allowing into your field of resonance, what you allow into come into your field. Are you going to allow the worst possible scenarios, or are you going to dream and create and draw your best life and live your best life? I mean, Leos, you're usually one of the most upbeat and positive signs of the zodiac. You're usually not one to go to that dark place, but maybe some of you are experiencing some of that at this time. I feel like some of you have some big deadline that it's like, oh, this deadline's coming, it's coming, and you're getting really scared and fearful about it. the Knight of Cups is here. I mean, he doesn't look he looks kind of creepy, but he's here to support. So there is a cup energy. There's somebody who cares about you. You know, the King of Cups. The kings are always more emotionally mature. So the King of Cups, this could be somebody who could help to soothe your mind. It could just be a friend or maybe even an older relative. But it could also be maybe a counselor. Maybe you want to talk to a counselor or somebody that could help you explore why you're having some of these deep thoughts, or get to the bottom or get to the root of them. The High Priestess can also be kind of diving into your own deep psychological things there. So I feel like there could be a lot of that going on. Maybe some stuff's coming up and you are highly aware and you're just like, wow, where did that come from? Why? What is that memory? Or even something dating back to, you know, being a child at night, you know, being afraid, the boogeyman under the bed. And where did that all come from? And through that, maybe even some art therapy. I mentioned that to somebody else earlier in the readings. But it could even be maybe doing some art therapy or drawing some pictures just to kind of free up your subconscious mind. Now, I like that the Two of Wands is here. The Two of Wands is a very good card. Well, it's a card of partnership, so there could be a strong partnership established, friendship or otherwise, couple, whatever, with either the Page of Cups or the Knight of Cups. Water sign energy could be a person who is a Scorpio, a Cancer, Pisces, or it could be somewhere around this 22nd here, because we have a 2 and a 2 here also, 22. When we have a big water sign energy, Neptune goes back into Pisces and the Sun goes back into, or goes into Scorpio, water. So the 22nd could be something around that time frame. But the Two of Wands, besides meaning partnerships, also means, you know, you just really see your path in life. You see your path in life. You see the direction you want to go through communing with higher guidance. You know, really diving into the deep energy, the deep thoughts. You know, if you're Leo rising, after all, Jupiter is in your 12th house of subconscious mind and all this sorts of things, of all the, you know, the deep thoughts and the deep actions and all these kinds of things. So it could very well be that there's just some kind of, this is the time when you would be getting into that kind of stuff anyway. But I feel like by the end of the month, as we move towards the end of the month, as we move into the water sign section or season, that you are really going to have a handle on it. You're going to be really, I have a handle on it. I see where I want to go in the future. I've conquered a lot of my demons. I've really met them head on, maybe with the help of some, you know, trusted friend or counselor of some sort. But you really have a handle on it. And even you're drawing up the plans for your next phase of life. You know, you're drawing up, making plans and drawing up plans. Okay, let's get our animal totem card for our Leo. The crow or raven, actually raven. Magic, myth, legend, and lore. The raven is calling you to awaken to the mystery and enchantment. It's time to shapeshift your life into what you want it to be. Yeah, but that raven energy can be, it does have that sort of dark connotation, or, you know, the ravens, you'll see these around, like when you go to buy these little decorations at Halloween, you'll see a lot of these crows and raven little doodads and statues and whatever. So it does have that. Even this thing, I mean, a little bit, it looks like a raven, you know, with the big thing there. So it's trying to bring you messages, though. This darkness that you may have, or if you've had a nightmare, you know, or you're a child, if you had a repeating childhood nightmare, it's trying to give you a message so that you can clear it and soar like never before, my guides are saying. Okay, let me get the animal totem, or not animal totem, the Holy Hamza for Leo. Action. Yeah, it's time to take action. Oh, let me hold up the card. Now, if you want to pause the video and look at some of the background words and zoom in and see if any of them stand out to you, that's how you can actually get a message. This is another one of the, both of these are decks that I've created and they're available. You can find out through my website how to access them. But the action card is very much about, it's very similar to the Eight of Wands in the tarot. I even put these arrows, that's sort of an ode to the Eight of Wands from the tarot of taking action. Motion, activity, movement. Things are moving quickly, propelling you into the future. You get the green light. The energy may seem a little wild or volatile at this time. Just try to stay focused and use the surge of momentum to break through any obstacles that have held you back. You are moving into the fast lane and are likely to be very busy at this time. If you can harness the energy and dive into the fury, much can be accomplished now. Send those messages, emails, resumes. Write down your thoughts and ideas as they may be coming fast and furiously. Take notes so that they don't slip through your fingers, lost forever. Yeah, that happens to me all the time. I get things, if I don't write it down or talk it into my phone, it's here today, gone tomorrow. In one ear, out the other. As they used to say. All right, we're going to grab your lots of love, whether it pertains to love or not. What we have here is sexy. I'm sexy and I know it. Alright, next we're going to pull a lots of answer. Oh, this is actually the lots of proverb. Be careful what you wish for. Yeah, because you might get it. But Leo, usually you're not shy about getting what you want. You're not shy. You want it. Oh, I'm pulling from the wrong one. It's saying don't look a gift horse in the mouth. Let's try to find the right pouch here. Somebody might be offering you something. Let's see here. What the hell? Work smart, not hard. I must have a whole bunch in the wrong thing here. Unlikely. There we go. It's unlikely that there's a whole bunch of them. Yeah, work smart, not hard. So really get your plans and ideas clear. Set your intentions clearly of what you want to do. Let's get rid of any false fears or old baggage that we don't need anymore. And let's forge our path and move into the future. Into the future. Time keeps on slipping. Into the future. Yeah, fly like an eagle. I'm going to put that tick-tock. Do-do-do-do. Just give me 1 second here, Leo. Hey, if you want to get in on the year ahead reading, don't forget, chat over my website. Check and see, even if you feel like you are subscribed, just double check and see. Apparently YouTube has been dropping people. They think they're bots or, something like that. So just to be sure, check it out. Fly like an eagle, Steve Miller. Okay, I just wanted to put that in my nursing home solo gigs set that I'm getting together here. Start playing some day shows. Alright, let's clear the energy because next we're going to move on to the sign of Virgo. Hello Virgo, this is going to be your October 2025 Psychic Tarot reading with Animal Totem. This one wants to stay behind, so we're going to leave it as the bottom. Well, we might as well just do the bottom. We'll do 2 more. That's the beautiful star card. Over in case anybody gets offended. Okay, and then 2 more cards for Virgo Sun, Rising, Moon. We're just coming, last month was really intense. You had that eclipse in your sun. We got Page of Cups, Star, Page of Cups, and the Hermit. Now you might be wanting to be a little bit in Hermit mode after all that energy in your sign back in September. But let's get 3 more cards for Virgo Sun, Rising, Moon. Or anybody with prominent Virgo placements, the Virgo collective, you could say. What do we got here? These cards are very thick and they're very hard to separate. Here we go. 6 of Cups, but they're gorgeous. Gorgeous illustrations. I love them. 6 of Cups, Queen of Swords. And then lastly, the 9 of Swords. I thought we had that in the last reading too. Well, some things may have come to light during the Virgo eclipse that were kind of like, ooh, don't get yourself stressed out here. And you maybe need some, all this whole bottom row, by the way. I mean, this card looks a little, these scary decks. I'm using the scary decks for Halloween season, of course. But it's really, the Hermit really isn't a scary card. The Hermit is about communing with your higher guidance, as is the Star, and as is the Page of Cups. They all are about this going within, feeling into that energy of communing with your spirit, being at peace, having maybe your alone time just to kind of digest everything that's happened during that eclipse season. Don't fall into worry mode, because I was going to call you Scorpio, but Virgos, you can be. You're the worriers of the zodiac. And I know sometimes worry, that you do have to worry. Somebody has to make sure everything goes smoothly and gets done right. And that's usually, you usually fall into that category. But don't be overly worried and stressed out. Take some time to decompress. I think that's going to be really important for you this month because of all the eclipse energy and everything that happened. The Hermit is the card of like standing back and listening. And then these two cards, both the Star and the Page of Cups, are the cards of getting that divine wisdom coming through to you. That this is you listening, and this is the answers. So you're getting the answers, you're getting the speak. Sometimes the Page of Cups can be the spirit of a child who is not born yet, but it definitely is spirit communication. As the Star is also like a very high spiritual communication. Six of Cups is somebody coming back from the past usually. And it looks like it could be in the form of this Queen of Swords. Now the Queen of Swords could be an air sign person, a Aquarius, Gemini, or Libra. The Queen of Swords is air sign time, and we are going to be in Libra for the first few weeks of the month up until the 22nd when we move into Scorpio. But we will be in Libra in these first few months. There's also going to be a Libra new moon on the 21st. So it could be something on or around that new moon. But this is going to be reconnecting with somebody from your past for sure. And it looks favorable and positive. The other thing that I want to... Six of Cups usually is this past thing and all this good stuff. But this feels like two different sides to the coin. Now this is you stressing out and worrying. But this is you, Virgo, going through and organizing, you cleaning your house up and getting everything together and putting your flowers. You're Earth sign too, so you like your garden and flower. Perhaps you've picked some pot flowers from the garden or picked some up from the store. And it looks like, you're going through and dusting off all your pictures and getting your things all organized and clean and getting your space, getting out of a space of like this and getting, because that's Virgos love to get everything clean and organized too. So doing all that and then just getting your space the way you want it to be. Because with the eclipse energy, a lot of things could have been shaken up, or maybe you were really busy, or there was a lot of demands on your time and energy. And now it's kind of this decompress, chill out time, communing with nature, maybe calling up or texting an old friend, or maybe you'll make plans to get together with an old friend, or maybe they'll get a hold of you. But this whole, like, you've come through the darkest part of it, that whole eclipse energy, all that crazy stuff, that's all behind you now. And this is a time of just kind of like, whew, exhale, clean your house, sit around, get your flowers, get your belongings, get them all your knickknacks or your little decorations. Maybe you want to frame some pictures or decorate, take some pictures down and hang some different photos. These kinds of things. Make your home environment and your environment really pleasing, comfortable, and wonderful. Okay. Self-care. Time for you. Okay. Let's go ahead and get an animal totem for Virgo for the month of October. Goldfish, that's really lucky. Goldfish is luck and prosperity. Luck, serenity, prosperity, wealth, fluid imagination, losing track of time, celestial connections. Yeah, that's what this could be. Altered states, omens of auspicious developments. Yeah. This whole thing, well, losing track of time, that's like this, where you're going through your thing. Do the thing that brings you the happiness and the joy, where you do lose track of time. Not the thing that's going to keep you up at night. Let's put that down for a minute. Let's step back and step away from that. And then the celestial connections, altered states. That's very much in keeping with the bottom row here. That's very much going along with these things along the bottom row here. And this one has a fish and this one has a fish, and then there's water too. I mean, you are an earth sign, but you could also benefit from maybe going to the water, spending a little time near the water and just, doing some meditating, doing some relaxing, chilling out, clearing your head. You know, even the fishes, there's a fish here, there's fish everywhere. You know, fishes are good luck, but I also feel like it could be, or even to go to the aquarium or somewhere like that, or if you have your own fish tank, you know, maybe sit there and spend some time, you know, just gazing at your fish. Or go fishing if that's something that you enjoy. All right, let's go ahead and pull your Holy Hamza from my Holy Hamza deck that I created. And we have dream, yeah. Dream a little dream of me. Yeah. Da 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 da. Yeah, look at the background, pause the video, and look at some of these cursive words. These are all writing in the background. You can zoom in if you want. But maybe if something catches your eye, that could absolutely be some kind of a message directly from your guides, especially from you, in this general reading. Okay, so dream, that's number 25. I have the booklet on my tablet over here. Intuition, meditation, subconscious, visioning your life into being, communing with your higher self. Yeah, that's what the Hermit can be in the star, absolutely. The dream card is the only card in the deck where the eye is closed, that's true, inviting us to look inward for the answers. More than answers, you are creating the life through your dreams and visions. Do not judge your life by what you see in the outer world. Instead, keep focused on creating from within. Work with the patterning of your subconscious mind. Working with the patterning of your subconscious mind can bring great insights into what may be holding you back from living your dream. When the dream card makes an appearance, be sure to pay close attention to your dreams. Write them down. Speak them into your phone as soon as you wake, before they fade into oblivion. Yeah, you could be getting all kinds of messages. Definitely write them down and keep track of them. Okay. Now we're going to pull your lots of love, which may or may not pertain to love. For Virgo Sun, Rising, Moon, we have engaged. Well, yeah, it could be engaged, you know, you're getting a ring, that kind of engagement. But it could also be maybe you're engaged in doing those things that you love, you know, engagement that way. All right, let's go ahead and get the lots of answer. It says, assumably. And finally, the lots of proverb for Virgo energy peeps. What do we have for Virgo? It says, it's never too late to be who you might have been. Yeah, there could be, you may have had some really harsh realizations during that eclipse season. It's just like, man, this isn't who I want to be. This isn't what I want to be doing with my life. Whatever happened to my old friends or the people I used to hang out with? Why am I always working and never taking time to have fun time for me? What brings you peace? These are the things, when you're in the state of peace, is when you can find out and manifest, you know, what you truly want to be. Be who you really want to be. And it is never too late to be. As long as you're still breathing, there's always time to start anew. Okay? All right, Virgos, well, thank you so much for coming in for your reading. Hope you enjoyed it and it helped you out. If not, check your sun, rising, and moon. If you want to get into details, you would have to have, this is a general read, so you would have to order a personal read, and I do have that year ahead reading, which is the most popular reading of the year. It is available only until the end of this year. And also, please hit that like and subscribe. And if you think you're already subscribed, just double check, because apparently YouTube is dropping people or something like that. Hope you have a great month of October, Virgo. And I'll be back throughout the month with some mini readings, but this is like the main read for the month, okay? All right, Virgos, next we're going to clear the energy. And I'm going to move on to the sign of Libra. This is going to be for our Libras. Well, happy birthday to all you Libras out there, you early October Libras, you. And there's going to be a new moon in your sign on the 21st at 28 degrees 22 of Libra, 8:25 a.m. Eastern, but times will vary depending on your location. Now, you get one new moon and one full moon every year, right? So this is that one full moon, new moon. This is the time to set your intentions, make your new beginnings, for your upcoming year ahead. And if your birthday is in October too, your birthday is very powerful, but your new moon is very powerful as well. So what do you want to create for the next year? Set your intentions, create your reality, and cards that we have are the Knight of Swords, the Ace of Pentacles, and the Nine of Swords again. That card keeps popping out. Man, I shuffled. Let me shuffle these a little better. Okay. Libra, Sun, Rising, and Moon. Some of us, maybe after that eclipse, maybe a lot of us are still dealing with some, it may have uncovered or unveiled some crazy stuff for people. Seven of Swords, or Seven of Cups, excuse me. Two of Wands, and then finally the Five of, this whole bottom row I think was right out of another reading, exactly almost. Well, yeah, some of us have been through some really harsh stuff here, and you just can't find your center if this could be, now in most cases this could be somebody else, maybe a boss at work or a partner, or like my case it was my neighbors or whoever that's just always making noise and destroying you can't find peace because of all this chaos being spewed at you constantly. But when it lines up with the Nine of Swords, this could be your own inner monologue. This could be your own inner monologue. And this time of year, no matter what you've got to do, Libra, because you're setting your intentions for the upcoming year, you really got to try to quiet that stuff down. You really got to find a way to get back to center, to get to that place where you are in the vibe. You're sending out the vibe for the upcoming year. Now, Knight of Swords over here, this is a representation of you. Now, look at the difference between this guy and this guy. This guy is, he's, look at me, it's my solar return time, I'm got my cool best clothes on, me and my horse are gonna go out and paint the town red, or we're gonna go do our thing. Do that thing, do what you want to do. Yeah, it's your thing, do what you want to do. And Libras, many of you are creative. You might want to go take one of those painting classes. They have those sip and paints or whatever, those kind of classes. Or I have a solar return painting class that you can order that's really powerful too for creating your manifestation. But it doesn't have to be my class, or maybe you just want to sit down and carve out some time to maybe not only do some kind of an art thing like they're doing, but drawing up the plans. I said this in another reading, I think, drawing up the plans for what you want to create for this next coming year, because it's super important. Now you have the Ace and the Two. The Ace is now the year ahead, and so Ace, and then you start in the Two. You're starting a new cycle because it's your solar return and it's your new moon. Ace of Pentacles is usually tied to some kind of money and finance thing too. So it could be some kind of big money and finance thing that you're starting up, a new job, a new project that could lead to some financial, my guides want me to say financial windfall. So yeah, it could be some kind of financial windfall. But, setting your intentions, trying to get past this, at least for the time being, or just find some way or something that's going to really bring you that joy and set you into that correct mindset that you need to be in. There's a mindset that you need to be in order to create your reality that you want, not the reality that you don't want. And now this is the Two of Wands, which is also like, yes, we're going on, we're creating our path, we're starting, but the way he's digging this hole, it's like you're starting your new thing. And it almost reminds me of the way that these are positioned are the Two of Swords. So you want to go this way and create, stress and worry and this kind of thing. That's what one of the sticks points that way. But then the other stick points to you feeling like top of the world, empowered, and you laying out those plans for your upcoming year ahead and being just so, charged up and full of hope and good hope and expectation and you know, just all those positive vibes. So it's really a time to get a hold of those emotions right now. Some of you, if you were thinking about starting out looking for a new job or starting some kind of a new project, that Libra new moon is going to be like one of the best days of the year, or about thereabouts, you know. It doesn't have to be exactly on the new moon, but, you know, give or take a couple days there. That could be super, super powerful for creating it. And then, you know, don't be a naysayer and thinking all doom and gloom. Lean towards the positive. Accentuate the positive. And it's more important now than ever. You just got to find a way to, you know, maybe you're going to have to go out and get out of your surroundings, because he's definitely moving. He's not sitting still. You know, he's taking action. So if you are, maybe you enjoy horse riding. Maybe go for a ride on a horse, or go even in a horse carriage or something like that, or go somewhere where there's horses, or the track. Maybe go to the track if you like to play, if you like to bet the ponies. You know, it could be like that. But go for a drive, you know, whatever it takes. Oh, here comes the card, the cat. So the cat is your animal totem. Whatever it takes to get your mind and your mind set in that right place for this upcoming year. And maybe set that intention or get that new job. Stealth huntress of the night, ancient intelligence, familiar of the goddess, waiting patiently for the time to act. Be flexible with balance and grace. Yeah, well, look at how cats are. Cats aren't, you know, cats aren't bothered by much, you know, not usually. Cats are super cool. You know, they don't get scared or worried, you know, and they have their eye on the prize. If you've ever seen a cat like stalking its prey, you know, it's got its eye on the prize, and then it gets ready, and this one wants to come out. It gets, you know, it sits there and then pounce, you know, it pounces when things are ready. This is the time to pounce. This isn't the time don't let these thoughts of doubt and worry creep in, okay? You got the earth symbol. So earth is about earth sign energy, but it's also planting in the earth. You know, take a look, if you want to pause the video and take a look at some of the background words, and if any of them catch your eye, that could be really important to you as far as a message from your actual guides. So earth is number 4. It really talks about the earth sign element, but what's also interesting is he's about to break ground there too. You might be about to break ground on like a building or a project or something. Grounding practical stability, building on solid foundations, financial growth and stability. Gaia the Great Mother provides nourishment to all her inhabitants. Ground yourself in the field of the earth to promote overall sense of well-being. The earth card is calling you to take practical approaches to all your endeavors at this time. It may represent the earth sign energy of Taurus, Capricorn, or Virgo. Yes, that's true. But it feels like you're breaking ground and you're planting. These are also like late. You can grow these in cold weather. I remember looking that up on the last time. Yeah, so, and this Taurus is standing out to here too. So it may be even something that planted in Taurus time back in May, that all of a sudden, or even April, number 4, back in April, that is coming to fruition now. But yeah, your solar return is a very powerful, important time. Start ahead of time. Start writing down what you want to manifest, and then maybe do some kind of ritual the day of. And ritual, if that's a scary word to you, it could just be anything. It could be a prayer. It could be anything you feel comfortable with. Okay, let's get, it says frenemy. Well, this could be a frenemy energy. You know, you don't want to be messing around with any frenemies on your solar return. You got to really protect that. Really protect that space. And don't let anything bad in, you know. Okay, next we have truly. So that's definitely a yes. And then thirdly, we have beauty is in the eye of the beholder. Yeah. Yeah, don't listen to naysayers. I feel like in this beauty is in the eye of the beholder. Because you're creating something right now. You know, you're creating this stuff at your solar return. And maybe somebody else is over here saying, oh, what do you want to do that for? Oh, you can have blah, 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 blah. This naysayer is barking in your ear over here. Don't even listen to that. Beauty, your beauty is for the life that you're creating for you is your beauty in the eye of you as the beholder, okay? So, beauty is in the eye of the beholder. Create the beauty that you want to see in the world. Manifest your reality. Lay those foundations. Start those foundations. Apply for that job. Start that financial thing. Break ground on that project. This is all favored at this time. And don't let the worries and doubts creep in and kind of ruin things. So this could be that frenemy too. Oh, well, we've been best friends since we were kids, and all they ever do is put your ideas down. That one's, you know, you don't need that crap, right? That's not a friend. That's just somebody who's, whatever, you know. Just be wary. Be true to your own self at this time, and your own inner, what you find to be beauty, and the beautiful path for your life that is unfolding. Okay, Libras? All right, well, that's your reading. Check your rising and moon. Hey, in addition to the year ahead readings that I'm offering for everybody, I wanted to remind everybody this month, it'll be available to the end of the year, but also if your birthday's now, I have those astrology reports. It's only $22 for the entire year, and it's super thorough. It's like 60, 70 pages. It covers every single aspect for your entire year. It tells you, today this is going to be the sun, trines your sun, and it tells you what to expect and that. So I run my own every year, and I find it to be very valuable as well. So if you don't want to do the year ahead, which is really more thorough, but maybe at your birthday time, a little present for yourself, or if you're watching, cross-watching, it could be a good present for Libra. $22, it's the whole year ahead, every bit of astrology. All available through my website. If you think you're subscribed and you're not sure, please do double check, because I guess YouTube's dropping people. I've been losing subscribers for so many years now. But you know, it might be algorithm, who knows what it is. But just double check, and if you aren't, hit it and hit that subscribe button. It helps me out. Thank you. Clear the energy. Because next we're going to look at the sign of Scorpio. Well, Scorpio, you're also, could be your birthday time. And happy birthday to your end of October Scorpios out there. It is your solar return. It is the most important time of the year where you really want to be conscious of your energy, like I was telling Libra. You're creating, you're setting the tone, or you're setting yourself up for the upcoming year. You know, that's what this is. It's a cyclical thing. So every year the sun returns to its place, you know, in your sign. It will be in your sign after the 22nd. And it's also coming into your birthday season. Even if you're a November Scorpio, as we move into Scorpio season, this is the energy, this is the time frame of you know, your solar return. Okay, let's do 3 cards from the first deck, the Dark Mansion Tarot for our Scorpios for October of 2025. 1, 2, 3. We have 9 of Pentacles. Nice. And next card we have is 6 of Swords. And then the third card we have is the 9 of Swords again. Are you kidding me? And I shuffled. Man, that 9 of Swords is just coming out every time. Well, maybe it's like I said. Maybe people are just, you know, been through the ringer after these eclipses and all the chaos that went on last month. It was pretty intense. So maybe we're still all kind of in the aftermath a little bit. But, yeah, that card has been out. All right, 3 more cards for Scorpio, Sun, Rising, Moon. How about some different stuff? Universe, some different cards this time. We have, there's a different one, Ace of Swords. And we have the Wish card, your genie in the bottle, make a wish. And finally, the 8 of Cups. Moving on, yeah. Well, I think that you're also like some of the other people that have had this. 9 of Swords has kind of been a little bit different in each interpretation. But I feel like that's what you're walking away from. You know, you're not going to be. I mean, of all the zodiac signs, Scorpio, you can kind of go to that dark side. You know, you do have that in you. You have the dark and the light within you. You're ruled by Pluto, the god of the underworld. So there is that. You know, you have that darker side. But I feel like you're just not listening to it anymore. Like she's like, no way, I'm not going there anymore. I'm not going to become emotionally invested in these thoughts and feelings that are not helping me, that are just manifesting negativity. I mean, you've got the Nine of Cups right dead center here, the wish card. Your wish is coming true. So the genie comes out of the bottle. You can make your 3 wishes. And you are able to move on safely to the next place of your next place. It may be an actual place, because there is this home in the background here that's standing out to me. Some of you may be moving to another, actually physically moving. But it definitely is energetic. It definitely is symbolic. And you're being guided or led or protected by this higher, this wiser elder is with you. This wise elder energy is guiding you. You're naive. It's something new. You're heading to a new situation. So you're inexperienced perhaps, or you don't know what lies ahead. But there is a part of you, or someone, or a spirit or angel or someone that's with you, who's steering the boat, and that is helping you to go to where you meant to, your wish, to fulfill your wish. The Ace of Swords is a major breakthrough. And just like I was saying here, I guess I never noticed this until just now, but both of these faces have a dark and a light, And it feels, in this one, it's very prominent that the light is saying, it feels like she's holding the sword, and even the eyes are closing on that. The time is closing of this, going to this dark space, and the Ace of Swords is like, yeah, I'm ready for anything. I'm taking over. Almost like a split personality, And this one, that's the positive energy that wants the best for you, that is of the light, is taking over and taking charge. And what is the Ace pointing at? Well, the Ace is pointing right up at the Nine of Pentacles. So that is material success and gains, financial well-being, being at peace, having time to prosper, spend in the garden, not always having to be toiling hard, working hard all the time, where you can enjoy the fruits of your labor. And you've really, with the Ace of Swords here too, you've reached some pinnacle of success, and it's a wish card. And it's going to allow you to move on from a lot of these stressful situations that you may have found yourself in. Again, solar return time, very powerful for creating your reality for the upcoming year. I would start now, even if you're in November, Scorpio. Let's start now. Let's start getting it together. Let's start thinking about what we want to create for the upcoming year, so that when our solar return does hit, or the new moon in Scorpio hits next month, we're really ready for it. Okay, we're really ready, and we've got everything, worked out. Okay, got the rabbit. Rabbit it's shy and timid, but rabbit is abundance. Rabbit is a major abundance. I don't know if you guys remember, some of you may remember, we used to carry around actual rabbit's foots that were dyed colors. How gross is that, It was considered good luck because they multiply, so they're so abundant. Sensitive, artistic, clever, nimble. Outsmarting adversaries by staying one step ahead. Taking colossal leaps and sprinting into the future. Heightened libido and procreation. Yeah, so if you're looking for a love to call my own, someone to get up in the morning, make my heart beat. Looking for love to call my own. Yeah, so if you're looking for love, you may find one. Okay, let's see here. There's something also very kind of innocent and childlike about it. When I was looking down, and then I saw the kids on the boat again. So there could be some kind of an innocence or something like that. Okay, let's see here. It says stop, impasse. Well, yeah, you may have reached an impasse among certain things here. But you've reached the end. When Scorpio's had enough, they've had enough. I know. I'm Scorpio rising, and I'm that way. When I've had enough, I've had enough. I am not going to keep going back for more, And it feels like some of you have just really reached that spot. Like, it's just like, no way, I'm not going back for more. This is the end of the line. We go no further. if you want to pause the video and look at some of the background words, you may be able to get a message. You can zoom in and look a little closer if you're on a phone or device. Okay, impasse, number 39. Do not proceed. You can go no further. Hitting a wall, end of the road. Okay, let me pull it up on here. 39. Here it is. Dead end, stalemate, irresolvable. Stop, do not proceed. If you find yourself hitting a brick wall, the universe is sending you a message that you can go no further with this endeavor. To continue trying will only lead to further disappointment and frustration. Know when to lay it down and do not view this as a defeat, rather a course correction. The universe is guiding you in a different direction towards the best possible outcome. Yeah, that goes right along with some of the cards that are going here. This is that universe is steering the boat for you, what I was saying. Okay, we're going to pull some lots of love. It may or may not pertain to love. Outgoing. Well, Scorpios, you're maybe not the most outgoing person, but maybe you will be a little bit more outgoing this month. If that's whatever your wish is, you know, it's going to be different for everyone. But let's see here. He says, yep. So yep is a yes, as far as that goes. And then lastly, we have, oh, what a tangled web we weave, which is, the end of it is when first we practice to deceive by telling lies. But I feel like, oh, what a tangled web we weave is all this drama. Whatever this drama is, whatever this, you know, whatever's going on here, that, oh, what a tangled web we weave, you know. You're done with that. I feel like you're done with that. Because Scorpio, you see right through that BS too. When everybody wants to have a bunch of drama and double talk a bunch of crap and yada 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 and carry on with silly, you know, this silliness, juvenile silliness. Scorpio's just like, please. Scorpio's like the big hawk or the eagle sitting on the branch watching all the mice scurry around with their silly business, and it's just sitting there like, yeah, whatever. It sees all. You know, you see all. And I think you're really ready to break out and break free of some stuff. You've got this beautiful wish card, so there is energy of wishes are coming true for you this month, potentially. But you have the power of the Scorpio season on your side. Yeah, and happy birthday again, by the way, Scorpios. If you want to order, I have the year ahead reading, which is a very in-depth personal reading, but I also have these year ahead astrology reports, which are only $22. Covers every astrology aspect for the entire year. Also a nice thing to get around your birthday time, or if you're watching, cross-watching, maybe a birthday present for Scorpios out there. Okay, next I'm going to clear the energy, and we are going to move on to the sign of Sagittarius. Sagittarius, you're such a crazy pants. And somebody was asking about that in one of the readings this month. That was a song that I used to sing for my dog. Rocky Rocco, you're such a crazy pants. One of like about 30 or 40 songs that I sing to my dog that I've made up about him. And one time I was doing the readings for the group here, and I realized that my dog is a Sagittarius. And so it just kind of translated and became your song. So if you're wondering what's with the crazy pants thing, it's just some kind of little silly thing that I used to sing for my dog, and now it's become kind of your anthem. So, but it's fitting. I think it's so fitting because Sagittarius, you are crazy pants. You are. You can be those. You can be a crazy pants. Ooh, one card stay behind. Let's take it. King of Pentacles. Okay, let's shuffle again. Hopefully I'm not going to get the dang Nine of Swords again. That's all I want. No more Nine of Swords, please. I've had it like almost every reading. But let's not think about that. So Sagittarius, you're another one. Being a fire sign, this full moon, new moon axis, the Aries, the Libra energy, both very favorable for you. Both very harmonious, very favorable, to where, you know, you could have a nice flow of energy. It might not, you know, you could have, it wouldn't be so difficult, perhaps, for you. Let's see here. Four of Swords. And at least we didn't get the freaking Nine of Swords. Emperor. That card has been out way too much this season, this month. Okay, now we're going to do the bottom row for our Sagittarians. Sun, rising, moon. The one flew out. Let's see what we got here. The Three of Pentacles. Oh, these decks are so trippy. This one in particular, Deviant Moon, is so trippy. It's got some trippy imagery. I love it. I love the deck. Okay, 2 more cards for Sagittarius for October 2025. King of Pentacles, double King of Pentacles. I think this is the first double card we've had this month. And Queen of Swords. Okay. Well, double King of Pentacles, so they're really stressing the point of the King of Pentacles energy. Now, typically the King of Pentacles is earth sign energy, which is Taurus, Capricorn, or Virgo. It could be a person who is of those astrology signs. It could be that time frame, although we're not having any earth sign, we're not having an earth sign sun or any kind of event. Let me just get a quick drink of water, please. But other than the people, it also represents the King of Pentacles. Pentacles is the money person. They are and the King of Pentacles is the person who's further along. Always the kings are further along. So the King of Pentacles is, and even with, because he's got these factories and stuff there, he could be a captain of industry, my guides are saying. You know, so this could be somebody who's very well established in business, finance, you know, these types of things. This could be somebody who works all the time and doesn't really devote any time to personal life. It could, I mean, usually that's not your nature, Sagittarius, but it could be an aspect of you, or maybe somebody else that you're going to encounter. Because this Four of Swords is here. Four of Swords, first of all, in the traditional tarot, always talks about, well, we need to take a little time to rest, relax, reflect, like she's reflecting. But I feel like for somebody out there, this part of the equation could be you, or this, well, actually even the Emperor. You know, somebody's really working all the time and wants to be the Emperor, wants to be the best in their field, wants to be the boss, and that's really all they focus on all the time. But there's, well, it could be they're saying there's a part of yourself that's longing for something more. But also I feel like there's a partner out there for you who's calling your name or calling out to you. But you're so focused, or maybe you're calling out to your partner and they're so focused on work. The opposite is true. But there's a part that's missing, that's lonely and longing and wanting for more of an emotional connection, who misses you. Could even be your friends maybe miss you if all you do is trying to prove yourself at work or make, you know, climb the top of that mountain or whatever. But it feels like there is, you need to make space for this softness, for this emotional connection, for this heart connection. And you need to make space for that. And it doesn't have to always be about, you know, job. It feels like the job could be really going well, and yes, you could be making great strides. And even if the King of Pentacles doesn't represent you, it may represent somebody who comes along who actually is, you know, taking note of you or wants to hire you or employ you or whatever the case. But there's just this inner loneliness or something missing here. Giving more attention to your emotional, your heart, and these types of things. Not always thinking. Queen of Swords. The way she's got her knives, it's reminding me of, you know, I'm gonna sharpen up my knives. What's next? Bring it on. Here, I'm ready. You know, just like this kind of, not greediness, but this, you know, definitely not this energy. I think this part of yourself may be sorely neglected. Or if it's, again, it might be you're really lonely and this is your partner or somebody in your life that's like that. And, you know, so, or that could even be an aspect of you. Well, if they're always going to be working, let's see what I can get myself into. Which is cool. You know, you do want to keep busy if you're in a relationship. You don't always want to be waiting for somebody if they're working and you have nothing going on. But this needs attending. That's the thing that I get really strongly. This needs attending. this loneliness, this softer side, this emotional side, this needs to be attended to. Now this Three of Pentacles, this is something that you've really been working on. Maybe the three of you. The two Kings of Pentacles and this Queen of Swords, there's been three people and you've been working day and night on putting this together and getting it ready, getting it ready. But the first thing that I saw when I thought of when I saw this was a tattoo. Because this guy looks like he's getting a tattoo on his head, or maybe they all are. So some of you, if you're into tattoos, I have quite a few tattoos. You can't ever see any of them on camera, but I have a lot of them. I've got some that are really old. I was kind of an early adapter, because really, actually, when I started getting tattoos, a lot of women didn't get tattoos, and it was sort of frowned upon that women would have tattoos, believe it or not. But I was a tattoo person early on. I still want to get some more done. But anyways, maybe some of you, maybe you're going to get a tattoo, but do you already have a tattoo? Do you already have a tattoo, like somebody's name tattooed on you? Are you making time for that person? This is the thing that draws me in the strongest, and that's how I read the cards. I do an intuitive or psychic reading, and my guides direct me towards what's the most important thing. Yeah, all this money stuff, yeah, it's important. Or maybe it could be two. This could be all culminating. Maybe you've been burning the midnight oil, the three of you, these three, there's these different people around to impress the emperor or whatever, and you've just been working. Okay. So you finished that project. Maybe you even finished it up back here on the Virgo eclipse with all this earth energy, which would have been September, 20-something. Maybe you finished it all up at that time or debuted it. And now you're ready to jump into the next thing? Yeah, that could be too. This could be Libra time. So this was Virgo. You finished up the big project. Now you're, okay, what else? What's next? What else can I get into? Why don't you just chill out for a minute? Why don't you just take some time to spend time with your loved ones, even if it's not your romantic partner? Maybe it's your kids. Maybe it's your dog is missing you. Maybe you're working all the time and you're not, take time to take your dog for a walk or pet your cat or whatever, It's not all about this achievement, go, 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 which again, typically isn't Sagittarius's. Usually you're not that tied up in that stuff, but that's definitely the vibes that is coming through here. Maybe some of you are going to get a tattoo that's going to have a lot of meaning too, because this really feels like a tattoo. But it could be the group working, like these people, all these people that were showing up here. Okay. Is all that work and all that success and everything you're working for, is it really fulfilling you deep inside? Or is there still something, a little bit of loneliness or something missing? That's really what I get. Now let's get your animal totem for Sagittarius. The wasp. The wasp is about stinging, but it's also being fierce and a fierce warrior. Fearless warrior, spirit of the sky, shamanic healing, transformation, stinging, attacking, fighting the good fight, impassioned actions makes dreams come true. I think you've done the impassioned action. Now it's time to chill out a little bit. All right, let's go ahead and get your, the one thing why I don't go to the lake this time of year is because several times I've gone at this time of year and they attack me. And I make sure that I dress in gray color, no bright colors so they don't mistake me. I never wear scented anything. I can't stand any kind of perfume or scented laundry detergent. I have to hold my breath going down the laundry detergent aisle. I just bought some unscented dryer sheets, which are not unscented because of being around all that toxic, strong smells. If you open them up, you can still smell. So I always have to open up the box and I lay them all out in the basement by the washer to air out with a fan to get the smell out of them. But the point is, I don't wear any kind of perfume ever. Everything is unscented. Unscented soap. Everything I use is unscented. And I don't wear bright colors, but they come and I've gotten bitten and attacked a couple times because food is scarce around this time of year. That's why there's not many flowers left or anything, and they're just frantically it's not personal. So I just stay away from the lake during this fall season and not go back in the winter, because I usually go down to the lake a couple times a week at least just to chill out and write or whatever. I do my channeling and my writing down there. But I've just been staying away because I know better. The last 2 years I've had gotten bit and attacked by wasps. And wasps can sting multiple times too. That's another thing about wasps. Sometimes bees sting you and then they lose their stinger. Not wasps. They can still come after you. One wasp, last time I got stung up bad down there, I got stung about maybe 4 or 5 times, but this thing was in my shirt. It hit me on the neck, and I smacked it off, and it was down in my shirt stinging me. It was horrible. And I'm allergic to bees, but I always keep like the stuff with me, you know. So I did the thing, but I went to the emergency room anyway. Anyways, go ahead. That's a long story on why I got off on this tangent. I'm just looking at that wasp. But they seem to be more aggressive, but they're just really looking for food. Okay, lots of, not lots of Hamzas. Holy Hamza. Home. Yeah, home is where the heart is. Home is what needs attention in your life, I think. Your home life. Okay? If you want to pause the video and take a look at some of the background text, you might get an answer. You might get a message or an answer from your guides or something that's personal to you. Because this, of course, is a general reading. Alright, so here we got Lair. It's funny I said liar. Lair Haven Sanctuary. Home is where the heart is, a place to call your own. We all need a place to call home, whether it is a brick-and-mortar building or simply a state of being. A place that is filled with love and good fortune for all who dwell there. If you have been wanting to move, this card may denote just that. A change for the better in your living situation is indicated. In some cases, you may be moving in with a partner and building a love nest. A sense of contentment and peace fills your heart as you lay your head down at night. Yeah. Again, when I said love nest, I heard Love Shack, that old tune by the B-52s. Oh, the Love Shack is a little old place where we can get together. Ooh, that's way out of tune. Reflect. Yeah, reflect. Reflect on. Before you start diving in, sharpening your knives to get into the next thing you're going to do, let's reflect on where we've been here for the last little bit. Okay. Better safe than sorry. But there's a whole bunch of the wrong ones in here. And then it says no. No. Take that as it resonates. But you know, it feels like take your foot off the accelerator a little bit, Sag. Chill out, reflect. You know what else was? I just looked at this one more thing because they keep grabbing my attention. Maybe go visit your loved ones if somebody's passed on. Maybe go visit their grave. I mean, I get creeped out by graveyards. I don't like to go. I rarely go. But you know, maybe it's time for a visit. You know, visit to the graveyard or that time frame or that area. It's funny I said time frame, but that area of your life or those people. Okay, so I'm going to go ahead and put these back, and I hope that it resonated on some level, Sagittarius. If it didn't, check your rising and moon, or, you know, I've been posting these weekly readings with little bits of update. I also post a more in-depth weekly reading every month on Patreon, going over the astrology if you're into that. But also the big thing right now is the year-ahead readings. Many people are ordering, only available for a limited time. If you haven't got yours and you would still like to, head over to my website. Check if you're subscribed. If you're not, please do. But if you think you are, just double check, because apparently YouTube is dropping people from the algorithm, or, you know, it's always something, right? So it costs nothing if you could just take a second, hit that subscribe. It really helps me out. And we're going to clear the energy, because next we're going to move on to the sign of Capricorn. Hello Capricorn, this is going to be your October of 2025 Psychic Tarot reading for Capricorn, Sun sign, rising moon, or anybody who has prominent Capricorn in their astrology chart, if you know it. Nothing directly hitting into your sign, but that's okay. You know, sometimes no news is good news. There's always, the planets are always moving and things are always changing, and everybody feels the energy to some degree and in some way. So we're using the scary decks this month in honor of Halloween or Samhain. the Dark Mansion, where first we'll pull 3 cards from the Dark Mansion. And this is for Capricorn Sun sign, rising sign or moon. Can't see the jack-o'-lantern's faces. There they are. Okay, 1, 2, and 3 for Capricorns. These cards are very thick. We have the 6 of Swords. And next we have, I'm talking a little low, I realized, the Page of Cups. And we have the Ace of Swords. I think that's the first time that's been out in this deck anyway. So we're getting some new cards finally. We're getting a lot of the same cards. Ooh, 1 stayed behind, we'll take it. 2 of Swords. And let's get 2 more cards here for our Capricorns. The Ace of Pentacles. Somebody else had that in the exact same position. And then last but not least, we have the Knight of Pentacles. That's a representation of you. This guy always seems like he's in a wheelchair too. So you might, if you know somebody who's disabled, or if that's you are yourself, that could represent that person. All right, so you're ready to move on, and you're coming out of the turbulent waters, and you're moving to the safer waters, and you're having safe passage. You've got your guides and angels, or your wise elder part of yourself is helping. You notice that there's children on this card and a child on this card too. So for some of you, there could be some connection to children. Maybe you're going to go on a trip with children, or what you're moving on to has to do with children. Page of Cups is water sign energy usually. And the water signs are Scorpio, Cancer, Pisces. Now, it can very much be this date of the 22nd. We have a big concentration of water sign energy. We have Neptune moving into Pisces, and we have the Sun moving into Scorpio, both water sign energy. This is also, sometimes I will use this card as spirit communication with the spirit of a child who is not incarnate, who is wanting to be born into this world, or about to be born into this world. It's next to the Ace of Swords, so there's some kind of major triumph and victory here. For some of you, maybe this could be, if you've been trying to get pregnant for a long time, then the baby, you're going to get pregnant, or something like that. But this could also be through communing with your divine consciousness, through your communing with your spirit guides and your higher angels and everything. The answer appears, the Ace of Swords. You have some kind of breakthrough. You have some kind of big breakthrough, awakening, victory. You see the way clear to a dilemma, to a problem. I keep wanting to say the word dilemma. 2 of Swords, there's some decision that's going to be made. Now, you could be making the decision, but I think for most people, the decision comes from elsewhere, because you have the Ace of Swords and then the Ace of Pentacles. So if you've been waiting to hear about some sort of money thing, whether it's a job or investment, or you know, you got the loan, you got the promotion, you got the investor, you got the job, you got the money is coming your way, because this is you feeling like, yeah, I got it. Here's the dragon, I got it, and he hands it over to you, and you're like, yay, I got the money. Some of you are going to either buy a car or get your car repaired or something like that. Some of you, it may be having to do with some kind of thing with people with disabilities. Either, again, it could be you or a person you know, but it might even be that's tied into the money some way. Maybe you're going to get a job with some kind of a hospital or rehabilitation center, or a place that helps people who are disabled or something like that. That could be part of it. Or charity. For some people, it's going to be some kind of a charity. Maybe you'll get the gig, like, I don't know, hosting it, or maybe you're going to do the graphics for it, or the promotional materials, or MC, or, you know, whatever. It feels like it's going to be that for some people. It feels like it was a tough decision to make, because look how they're fighting each other. It was a tough decision to make, but you come out the victor. You come out with the victorious triumph with the 2 aces here. It might be you are one of 2, because there's these 2 guys on here, and then there's 2 aces. You may be one of 2 that they're trying to decide between, but I feel like no matter what, you'll be a part of it. You will get the monetary reward, my guides are saying. It could be some kind of contest that you entered. Maybe you've entered some kind of contest. You're trying to get some kind of a grant, or some kind of where you had to enter, and these are the judges, fighting it out and figuring out what could be, again, the job. Well, if you're applying for a job, there's a contest going on there, because I'm sure multiple people have applied for the job too. You may be getting the news maybe coming as we move around that 22nd. You may get that may be the time frame when you see that, oh yeah, they made the decision and we've got it. For some of you, this may be you making the decision to move on from some job and just look elsewhere. And if that's the case, Ace of Pentacles also says you would get it. Now, if you're just making the decision now to move on, it might not be until we get into your time frame in Earth sign time when the actual, although there should be actually a Taurus, there will be a Taurus full moon in, there should be in November, right? So it could be that. It could be the Taurus full moon next month in November, around November 5th. But it might not even come to fruition until we get all the way into Capricorn time, till after the solstice there. Okay, let's go ahead and get the animal totem. The animal, ooh, it flew out, the pig. Ooh, pig's a good one. Pig is major, major abundance. So yeah, something is really coming through with you. It's Ace of Pentacles and then it's aces. Tenacious, steadfast, bold, independent. Bringer of luck, prosperity, and wealth. Feast and celebrate in gratitude. Prolific creation, a time of great fertility. Yeah, somebody may be hiring you for your creative talents too with the Page of Cups. They might really like what you do and want to employ you to do more work for them. If you're a freelancer, it could be a like that, a gig like that. Okay, let's do the Holy Hamza card for our Capricorn for the month of October from my Holy Hamza deck. It says learn. Yeah, so it might even be scholarship, or maybe you'll get somebody's getting accepted into a school. Maybe it's the earth sign person that's getting accepted into the school. If you want to pause the video and zoom in on some of those background words that catch your eye, that could absolutely give you some additional insights or messages from your own guides. Okay, learn. Wisdom, education, knowledge. Learning is a lifelong process, a never-ending quest. You may find yourself immersed in a field of study that you are passionate about. When our interests are sparked, it can be a sign from the universe that we are hot on the trail of aligning with our soul's purpose. Follow your interests, for your discovery will lead to more questions and further expansion of your knowledge base. In some cases, you may be currently in school or thinking about going back. For some, this could indicate a career in the educational field. This card may indicate you still have much to learn in a particular subject. Yes, all of that is good and true. All right, I'm going to pull a Lots of Love, which may or may not pertain to love, for our Capricorns for October. It says liar. Liar, liar. Dun, dun. Well, who knows? That's, take it as it resonates. Maybe that's what you're moving away from. Okay, let's go here. Next we have doubtful. There's something on here. If it's going to come off. Almost looks like it's burned. Okay, and then thirdly, lots of Proverbs. It has let sleeping dogs lie. Yeah, there's something that you're moving away from in order, but that's always the case, right? That's always the case. In order to have a new beginning, you always have to leave something else behind. That's just the cycle of life. That's how things work. So, let sleeping dogs lie. New things are on the horizon, and you're open and ready to accept it. That's another thing about this Knight of Pentacles. He's not looking away. He's like, okay, yeah, I'll take that pentacle. Thank you. Thank you very much. Okay. Thank you very much. Hey Capricorns, I hope you have a great month of October. If you want to get in on my year ahead reading, there's lots to talk about. It's a personal reading just for you. A little bit of astrology, 4 quarters of tarot, animal totem. Lots to offer, very popular every year. If you haven't got yours and you would like to, head over to my website. And please do hit that like and subscribe. Check and make sure you are subscribed if you think you are, because apparently YouTube is kicking people off. It's some kind of bots or who knows what. It's something new every month, isn't it? But just hit that like and subscribe if you could do me that favor. It would really help me out, and I really appreciate it. Have a great month, and next we're going to move on to Aquarius. Alright, Aquarius, well, this is going to be your reading for October 2025. This is going to include the Aquarius sun sign, Aquarius rising, Aquarius moon, anybody who has prominent Aquarius in their chart. There's a lot going on. Astrology-wise, there's some major shifts happening. You, like all the air and fire I've been mentioning, this full and new moon are very harmonious with your energy, okay? So you are an air sign, so full moon, new moon, and air and fire on the 6th and 21st. That's going to go right. That's right up your alleyway. The other thing is that on the 13th, Pluto is going direct, and it's been retrograde in your sign since May. Oops, one card flew out here. The Empress, nice. So it's been retrograde in your sign since May. So if things have been stalled or delayed all the way back to May, you know, it may be a time where things start really moving forward for some of you. Empress, Queen of Cups, and is that the Sun card? No, that's the Eight of Pentacles. Oh, we got some new cards showing up. Anyway, we're getting a lot of repeaters of the same cards. Okay, good. I like to see some new cards. You know what's standing out to me are these blue hats that they're wearing and their blue robes, that color blue. Well, that's your throat chakra. Blue is your throat chakra, so you may need to speak up. Okay. It's also the royal robes, they're saying. It's the color of royalty. Purples and blues, like blue blood, and purple, that's the color of royalty. So it may be something, an actual royal person or somebody who's, you know, in a position of power or authority or considered whatever. Excuse me. That Four of Swords was in that exact same position for somebody else. Nine of Wands. Yeah, I'm going to need to put my cough drop back in. I'm going to drink water, sorry. Oh, talking too much gets my throat dry. Well, we have the Seven of Pentacles up here. So this is some kind of money thing. You're happy with the return on your investment, I'm hearing. So whatever you've put in, whether you've invested work or time or money, you're seeing the results and you're happy with the return on your investment. I said this when the other card, whoever else had this, this feels to me like revealing your softer side. Four of Swords is actually, in traditional tarot, is a card of, you know, resting and relaxing and things like that. But it feels like taking time. You've got this work, you've accomplished some task with your money and finance, and now it's time to, you know, reflect. Take some time out. Queen of Cups is also taking that time out. Nine of Wands, it feels like maybe you really have your guard up against being soft. Like you don't want to appear to be soft, or you don't want to let the momentum die, or something. Like you kind of feel like you have to keep going, But the guides are, you know, it's saying it's time to slow down. It's time to take it a little easy here. And it's time to take it a little easy because there's another leg of your journey that's about to unfold here. The Eight of Pentacles is doing the work that you love, and the money will follow. It's not about toiling away, you know, working on stuff just to make money, but then you really hate it. This is following your passion. This is following your dream, doing the work you love. There's an emotional, you get emotional charge out of it. There's very much this emotional thing here. The Empress is a card of major fertility, abundance, having that abundance, it's creativity. This whole bottom row reminds me of creativity. So whether it's creative ideas that you have, it doesn't necessarily have to be connected to the arts, you know, quote unquote the arts. It could be creative ideas that you have, but your garden is growing. Her flowers are blooming. She's sitting on her throne here with her flowers blooming. And then the Queen of Cups is here, you know, bringing in that emotional support, bringing in that creative flow. The way they have these hats, that's still grabbing me. It feels like they're kindred spirits on some level. Now, you may be the Empress, and the Queen of Cups could be somebody else who is perhaps a water sign, a Scorpio, a Cancer, or Pisces. Or it could be somebody who's coming in the water sign time, which starts on the 22nd and goes through the end of the month. But the 22nd is a very key date because we have the Neptune moves into Pisces and the Sun moves into Scorpio. Big water action. Well, both will be present for the rest of the month after the 22nd. For some of you, I feel like you're the Empress and this is the creative person even, and you're saying, like maybe you're having something made. You're having something custom made, like a piece of jewelry or a wedding invitations or, you know, something like that. And this person's saying, okay, how do you like this one? How do you like this one? And, you know, so far you haven't come up with anything that you really like that's perfect. That's exactly what you're looking for. But then this person finally, you hit on it. You guys are in sync somehow. You're soulmates on some level. Could be romantic, could be any way. Because also the cups are the emotional side of things. The cups people are it's the hearts in the traditional tarot, or traditional cards, you know, the 4 suits, it's the hearts. So it's the matters of the heart. But I feel like you haven't been satisfied with a lot, you know. You've got really strict guidelines. You know exactly what you're after here. And this person is trying really hard to please you, but also can bring you the results you want if you give them a chance. You'll find the right person. You'll find, if it's a musical project even, you'll find the right person to be in the band with, to collaborate with. Or maybe if it's something having to do with acting, you'll find that right person to play that role. Or the right, I keep picking up like an MC. Somebody's an MC. You'll find the right person, the DJ, to MC your party or your event or whatever's happening. You'll find the right tutor or the right spiritual counselor or whatever you're looking for. This person is coming in, and you guys will be on the same page for the most part. Camel flew out, so that'll be your animal totem. Dragon of the desert, wayfaring soul, sure-footedness amidst the shifting sands, overcoming insurmountable odds and preparing for the journey ahead. Yeah. So, you're preparing for the journey ahead. Take this pause time. You don't have to be so, you know, push, 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 shove, shove, shove. Take a little bit of a time for a chill out and planning your next move and gathering the right people, the right tools, the right team together in order to move on to the next step. Okay, Holy Hamza card for Aquarius, Sun, Moon, Rising. Party. Well, it's party time. Excellent. Okay, take a look at this if you want. Pause the video and take a look at those background words and see if anything grabs your attention, and then zoom in on it because it may give you a personal message. So party card is number 14. Let me go down here to 14. Gift, gala, celebration. A whirlwind of festivities, a fun event, a party or doings. Your social calendar is full and you're having a blast. We all need some fun and frivolity in our lives, and the party card is a reminder of just that. While this card may be more of a gentle or a general mood or tone, it may also refer to a specific event, a birthday, anniversary, holiday, or other date of significance. It could be Halloween. If so, this event may be in the time frame of which you are seeking will appear. Sometime this card may be an element of surprise. An unexpected gift may be heading your way. Well, I feel really strong about this connection with this person on whatever level. If it's a romantic connection, regardless of gender, that's not necessarily hold true. You might meet them at work or while doing some kind of activity that you just really enjoy doing. Okay, so next we're going to take a look at the lots of love, which may or may not pertain to love. We have attraction. And then the second card is yes, no, maybe. Soon. Yeah, as soon as Scorpio season, maybe, for some people. And then thirdly, there are lots of answers, or lots of proverbs, I should say. It says, jealousy is the green-eyed monster. Well, that's true, but I'm not really picking up a lot of jealousy in this reading, but, you know, that's a true thing. You know, stay away from the jealousy. That's definitely a thing. Well, Aquarius, I think you're going to find exactly what you're looking for. Be willing to collaborate. Be open to collaboration. Be opening to others putting in opinion, because I feel like you're going to find a great collaborator, and maybe even a lifelong friend, my guides are saying, a lifelong connection through this other project. Keep working on what you love. Allow yourself a little breathing room and taking a break. And Pluto's going direct, so you could really see some things to start moving that have been stalled out all the way back since May even, you know. Hey Aquarius, if you haven't got in on my 2026 reading, and year ahead reading, and you would like to, it's only going to be available till the end of this year. It's chock full of all sorts of information. We'll look at your astrology for the year. We'll look at your 4 quarters of the year with Psychic Tarot. We'll pull an animal totem. So, very popular, happening now. And if you haven't subscribed, or you think you are subscribed, just double check. Apparently, YouTube is dropping people. It's a whole thing. It only takes a second. It doesn't cost anything, and it's highly appreciated. Okay. All right, so let's clear the energy, because we're going to finish up this monthly reading with the sign of Pisces. Okay, Pisces, this is going to be the big read for the month. I have been posting every week on YouTube some shorter all signs readings, and I have an astrology tarot reading over on Patreon, and that's where the other things have gone, the astrology readings. So if there's stuff on Patreon, there's stuff here, but this is the big reading where I pull the most cards, and it's the most in-depth for the entire year. Let's get 3 cards for Pisces. Well, one of the big things that's happening astrologically, you've got 8 of Cups. I'll tell you about it while I shuffle the other card. 8 of Cups, 10 of Wands, and that top card only. It's that 10 of Pentacles. This reminds me of I think the very first reading of Aries. I think I had the 2 10s like that. But what's happening here on this 22nd, Neptune, which is your ruling planet, is moving back into your sign of Pisces. So that's super powerful, and Saturn's going to be there. So this is going to bring up some energy. Like, this was around your birthday, when it was March, when Saturn moved into Aries. So this is going to bring up maybe some stuff from back then, but definitely some stuff for the past couple years at least. It could be kind of heavy, emotionally, psychically, spiritually heavy. But there's some finishing up, and it's not going to be back in our lifetimes. It's going to be a couple hundred years. It'll be moving out, it'll move on and go out again, back into Aries. Let's see when that is. It'll be January. Yeah, it'll be January. It'll be Aries. Neptune gets out of your sign, moves out of your sign, and then February Saturn moves out of your sign. But we're kind of back in the place we were for the last couple of 3 years. There might be some heavy-duty emotional stuff that we still have to deal with. So, you know, Pisces, I mean, but you're up for the task. I mean, you're heavy-duty emotional anyway. That's you all day long, right? Page of Cups, that's a representation of you. 7 of Cups. And 10 of Cups. Look at this. Well, let's look at this. There's 6 cards laid out here, and 1, 2, 3, 4 of them are cups. Okay, so cups is the mood for the day, right? Cups are, that's your energy. You know, that's the water signs, the Scorpios, the Cancers, the Pisces. It could be talking about, as we move, this is going to be powerful. Neptune goes in your sign, the Sun moves into Scorpio. We're really back in the water sign vibes, really back in your vibe. But yeah, or it could be another person who's also a water sign, but it's water sign season. It's emotional. It's all the stuff I was saying about the Pisces. You know, the Neptune and the Saturn and back in your sign. You're going to have a realization that something that you thought was going to be around for a long time, maybe it's not. Maybe there's something that needs to be put asunder, my guides are saying. With these couple of 10s, 10s are always, excuse me, 10s are always completions of cycles as well. So 10 of Wands is something that you've been carrying this heavy burden and working really hard on. And maybe it's just become everyday thing and you don't even realize it, you know, you don't even realize it. But your higher self over here, this owl, this wisdom part of yourself sees that this is too much. You know, there's been something that's just too much. And it's time for you to move on and move on to something else. You actually have 3 tens here. I didn't catch that. You got 10 of Wands, 10 of Pentacles, 10 of Cups. So talk about finishing up a cycle. I mean, you really are finishing up this cycle. All these 10s are a completion of a cycle. Now, you don't have the 10 of Swords, so that's good. But the 10 of Pentacles is a great card. It's a card of having that financial security. It's also, both of these are very family oriented. The 10 of Cups is the most happiness, the most joy, the most positive vibes that you could possibly have around a situation. Overjoyed, happiness, overcome with joy and happiness. I mean, that's what my guides are saying. Page of Cups, for some of you, there could be a new addition to the family coming in. Even if it's not your child, it might be a grandchild, niece, nephew, or even like a best friend's child, grandchild, whoever, you know. But there's a lot of happiness and celebration around these children and these younger people. 7 of Cups, now that, especially with Neptune going back in your sign, now is the time to dream your life and plan it into reality. Sketch out what you want it to be. You could actually sketch it out as a drawing, or you could just be sketching it out in your mind, visualizing it in your mind, creating it in your mind, and then see it manifest into reality. 10 of Pentacles, there's a lot of money going on here. There's an opportunity for a lot of money where you don't have to work so hard. Or maybe what you've worked so hard at, maybe you can let it go. Maybe you can sell it. Maybe you worked on somebody's worked on restoring something and they're going to sell it. Maybe it's a house, but it might be like a car or a motorcycle or even a boat or something. I'm picking that up for somebody. If it's not you, maybe it's your partner. And they've been working, restoring it. And somebody really wants it. Somebody wants it because it was their dad or their grandfather had one just like it. This car or this motorcycle, or car and motorcycle is the strongest thing that I'm getting. But again, it could be a boat or something like that. And it's like, oh, my dad had that exact same model, and oh, you just brought it back to cherry, they're saying. You know, it's cherry, so that means really good. So you just made it cherry again, you know, so... and they really want it, and they're willing to pay a price for it. You may have multiple people. Maybe it's a house. Maybe it's furniture. I mean, it just could be a lot of different things. But it's something that you put a lot of work and effort into. And even if it's not people fighting over it, for everybody, it wouldn't be like people trying to outbid each other. It could be like a house or property too. But maybe there's just a lot of appreciation for it. And you get that appreciation, you get that acknowledgement, and you get that my guides are saying notification. So maybe you're going to get a notification from somebody that, hey, maybe you entered an art show and they've been working really hard on it, and they say, hey, you're going to be in the art show, or you got the artist grant, or you got the grant to start your business from this, you know, for something else or whatever. You've been working your ass off, just plain and simple, and now you're going to reap the rewards. Use your creative energy to create your future. You don't have to necessarily work so hard anymore. I feel like you're going to be in a place where you have a little bit more time to enjoy life, and maybe even take a little vacation or take some time off and spend with your family or something like that. Okay, let me get the animal totem for our Pisces friends for October. Hummingbird. Hummingbird's about love. It's about elevated vibrations and love. So maybe some of you may meet somebody and fall in love. That's absolutely a thing. That could absolutely be with the 10 of Cups. That's the marriage card. Okay? Okay, Hummingbird. Love abounding, laughter and joy. Elevated vibrations bring glimpses of magic. The fairy folks surely dance nearby. Savor the sweet bouquet. Taste the nectar of life. Yeah. That's about falling in love. That's very much the energy of the hummingbird. Or just being in that state of feeling like you are in love, or that, you know, that elevated, what do I call it? Elevated vibrations. But it's just really happy. hummingbirds are happy. You don't need to be a psychic to figure that one out, right? Okay, it's happy, joy. Happy, happy, joy, joy. All right, let's get our Holy Hamza card for our Pisces friends. Holy Hamza. Cleanse. Yeah, well, that Neptune going back in your sign, I mean, that's the time to cleanse. If you want to pause the video and take a look at the background words, you may be able to get an answer or a message out of that. But basically it's cleansing. And it might even be around the full moon of the 6th, because that's a good time for a cleanse. Okay, cleanse. Clear, smudge, unburden. Purge yourself of excess clutter. See your way clear. The cleanse card is calling you to clear away the litter in your life on all levels, emotionally, physically, and spiritually. When you remove all the extraneous toxins that have been polluting your environment, you are making space for new things to come into your life. This may be a good time to do a thorough cleaning of your environment. The burning of sage, uses of salt, and even sound can be used to further clear the field. These type of ceremonies may be more powerful when performed on a full moon or right after. Yeah, that's what I've mentioned that already. True. True that. All right, let's go ahead and get our lots of love, which may or may not pertain to love. Let's see here. Drama. Yeah, Pisces, I think you've had enough of the drama. Next, we're going to do our lots of answer. Uncertain. Well, Neptune can do that. Can make things uncertain to some degree. And finally, the lots of proverb. Make love, not war. Didn't we have that? Oh, we had love is the answer. That was the one. Yeah, make love, not war. Well, you'll be making love if you want to. I mean, it's definitely around. You know, you got a lot of love around you. Family love, romantic love, creative love, however you want to frame it, however you want to phrase it. You know, you're definitely in the zone with the love thing. And you're walking away from things that no longer... So you're going to be reevaluating between now and, January. You're going to be reevaluating. This is the things that we can take a look at, because you may have other planets besides your sun in Pisces. If you order your head reading, we'll look, and maybe you have Venus there. Maybe Neptune's going to hit your Venus, you know, and that could be this. It'll be specific to you, in other words. So that's why that's the value of getting a personal reading. These only come around once a year. It's the best value, the best thing I have going. You get the astrology, you get the 4 quarters of the tarot, and you get the animal totem for the year. So if you haven't picked it up yet or ordered yet, go ahead and head over to my website. It's highly appreciated. Also, if you haven't subscribed, just double check and make sure you're subscribed. There's some funky stuff going on YouTube. I've been losing subscribers steadily for years now. I mean, I'm down a lot, about 10,000 I've lost over the last several years. So it is what it is. I mean, I don't really fuss about it all that much, but I mean, I've heard that there's this algorithmic thing going on, and they're sweeping and getting rid of people for bots or this or that and the other, so whatever. Anyway, stay tuned for a little clip on my Eerie Lake Erie, too. If you like spooky Halloween stuff, I've got this awesome book and these cards that I wrote. That's all. You can find all that information below or by heading to my website. I wish everybody the best time. Have the best month of October. Stay tuned for a little Eerie Lake Erie clip that's coming up, and we'll be back. I'll be back again with periodically through the month with shorter readings, but this is the big read for the month. You may even want to come back and watch it again later, because even my numbers on this have dropped by a few thousand. I'm not getting the numbers on these monthly readings that I used to get. I mean, it's cool. I mean, it is what it is, but I mean, if they keep dropping, I don't know if I'll keep doing them. You know, that's the whole point. But anyways, I'm doing them now. I'm happy that you've tuned in. I hope you have a great month. Remember, you are love and beauty incarnate, and we'll be back again.